Chapter 281. I'll take care of you. After a long while, the two's French kissing finally came to an end. Yunchujio got up and pretended to be calm. Not bad. My Prince Charming, your kissing skills have improved vastly. Yunchujio did not wait for Di Biming to react and hid her little head under the quilt. Damn, it was so embarrassing. From the corner of his eye, Di Biming saw Yunchujio hiding under the blanket like a quail. He could not help but smile. This black thing actually knows how to be shy. How rare. The next morning, Di Biming woke up early. He did not sleep well throughout the night. The scenes in his dream was really. Di Biming subconsciously raised his hand to move Yunchujio's arm from his chest. Then he was stunned. I can move now? Di Biming slightly raised his leg and turned his neck. He had really returned to normal. At that moment Yunchujio woke up. Before she opened her eyes, she stretched her body and smiled widely at Di Biming. Prince Charming, good morning. Are you feeling better? Can you move now? Di Biming's eyes flashed. My neck is better, but I can't move the other parts yet. Yunchujio comforted him. Prince Charming, illness comes like a landslide and goes away slowly. Take your time, there's no rush. Di Biming nodded. His heart was deeply moved and he asked in a deep voice, well, I hope so. If I'm really disabled, what will you do? Yunchujio was stunned at first, then she said indifferently, it's okay. It's okay. If you're really disabled, I'll take care of you. Di Biming's heart warmed up. Black Thing truly loved me deeply. Even if I'm crippled, she would not abandon me. Anyway, it won't delay the birth of your child. When the time comes, you'll get your son to serve you. Then you'll be able to go out and have fun. Oh yeah, you're crippled now. From now on, your storage ring belongs to me. I'll be in charge of finances. Black Thing, just give up on that idea. Even if I'm crippled, I won't let you have the money to go out and show off. Di Biming was so angry that he almost choked. Yunchujio pouted. Look at how stingy you are. If you don't want to give it to me, then don't. I'll earn money and spend it myself. I don't believe that with my heaven-defying alchemy talent, I won't be able to earn money in the future. Maybe in the future you'll have to rely on me to support you. Di Biming's eyes flashed, but he didn't say anything. You Black Thing. Even if you earn money, I'll still think of a way to get all your spirit stones into my possession. Can't have people like you have money. Seeing that Di Biming did not say anything, Yunchujio thought that he had been convinced by her. She got down from the bed in a smugly. After washing up, she continued to provide him with her fee-based services. She helped Di Biming wipe his face, used mouthwash to freshen his mouth, then helped Di Biming put on a coat. Di Biming was both joyous and in pain. Yesterday he could not move and Yunchujio helped him with these things. He did not feel any different. However, now that he could move, it was really hard pretending to not be able to. Yunchujio carried Di Biming to the recliner in the courtyard and said sneakily, Prince Charming, hurry up and prepare breakfast. I'm hungry. Di Biming probably feigned a guilty conscience and did not argue with her about the cost of the meal. He took out their breakfast from his storage ring. Yunchujio scooped a bowl of porridge for them. She ate a mouthful before feeding Di Biming a mouthful. She did not feel that there was anything wrong with the two of them using the same spoon. Di Biming was secretly delighted. I'm really too wise. If this venerable self did not continue feigning illness, how could the Black Thing take care of me so meticulously? Besides, there isn't any matters that needs to be taken care of for the next few weeks, so I'll just pretend to be sick for some time. Chapter 282. The Miserable Emperor. After breakfast, Yunchujio offered to give Di Biming a massage in order to earn money. He naturally agreed to it. Yunchujio first massaged Di Biming's shoulders for a while, then started massaging his thighs. The miserable emperor was still feeling smug just a moment ago but was starting to reap the consequences. Yunchujio did not care about anything else and started to press on Di Biming's thigh. The emperor, who had always kept himself pure, could not withstand such a stimulation. A certain part of his body immediately reacted. Yunchujio curled her lips in disdain. Prince Charming, you said that your limbs are already stiff. How can there still be a reaction there? You're really a lecherous person. The ancestors really did not lie to me. Boom. Di Biming's face instantly turned scarlet red. He stuttered, nonsense. No, there's no need to massage anymore. How can I not? I'm a businessman with a spirit of honesty. Since I've taken your spirit stones, I naturally have to finish massaging you. Yunchujio said with a smile. Di Biming finally knew what it meant to lift a stone and throw it at his own feet. How could it be that less than 15 minutes passed even after such a long time? Di Biming felt that time was passing so slowly. Finally, Yun Chujio withdrew her demon claw and announced that the massage was over. Di Biming secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It was finally over. If it was not over, his true self would only be exposed. Black Thing, don't you need to go to the meeting hall today? Di Biming wanted to go down and exercise, so he naturally had to send Yun Chujio away. No need. I've already explained everything clearly yesterday. Yun Chujio did not have any intention of leaving the courtyard. Di Biming frowned. Then don't you need to go to the kitchen to work? No need. I'm skipping work. Prince Charming, why do I feel like you're trying to chase me away? Are you going to do something bad behind my back? Yun Chujio blinked and looked at Di Biming suspiciously. Nonsense. What bad things can I do? I'm afraid I'll delay your matters. Forget it if you don't appreciate my kindness. Di Biming was a little angry from embarrassment. Yun Chujio rolled her eyes. Ah, my Prince Charming. Now that you've mentioned it, I just remembered. I have to go to the Spirit Herb Garden. Prince Charming, do you really not need me to take care of you? Di Biming's eyes lit up. No, you go. Don't worry about me. And Feng and Anin will take care of me. All right. We'll go to the Spirit Herb Garden then. See you later. Yun Chujio said and left. Di Biming felt that Yun Chujio had gone far away, so he stood up and started to move his limbs on the ground. Your Excellency, you're healed? Were you pretending just now? Enfeng asked in surprise. Di Biming glanced at him and Enfeng shrunk his neck. He cursed in his heart. Your Excellency, I didn't expect you to think of such a childish trick. You're really good. Yun Chujio only came back when it was almost dinner time. She fed Di Biming dinner and the two of them returned to the bedroom. My Prince Charming, I've already prepared the bath water. Come, let me help you take a bath. Yun Chujio took out a big hot tub from her storage ring. Di Biming shouted angrily, didn't we bathe the night before yesterday? I don't want to bathe. I want to sleep. Prince Charming, this isn't up to you. Besides, you can't move now. You'd have to wash up regardless, so might as well do it tonight. Besides, I didn't see anything last time. This time I have to feast my eyes. Yun Chujio said lecherously. Come on. Prince Charming. I'll help you take off your clothes first. Yun Chujio stretched out her claws and went straight for Di Biming's belt. Chapter 283. I really didn't expect you to be such a Prince Charming. A cunning look flashed across Yun Chujio's eyes. Gigolo, you actually pretended to be sick. Let's see if you still want to pretend this time. I'm so smart. The Gigolo usually keeps a close eye on me, but today he actually took the initiative to send me away. There must be something fishy going on. When Yun Chujio came back at night, she deliberately looked at the ground. Although Di Biming had destroyed most of the footprints, Yun Chujio still found a few residual footprints and immediately figured it out. Come, let me help you take off your belt. How dare you pretend to be sick and lie to me? Watch how I deal with you. When Di Biming saw that Yun Chujio was serious, he did not care if he was exposed. He directly grabbed Yun Chujio's little claws that were already on the move. Black Thing. Stop. Yun Chujio pretended to be pleasantly surprised. My idol, you can actually move? Are you okay? Di Biming coughed and said unnaturally, I guess it's because I'm in a hurry that my blood flow is unblocked. My Prince Charming, then you have to thank me. If I didn't force you to take a bath, you might really be paralyzed. Shouldn't you show your gratitude? Yun Chujio blinked her eyes, taking credit. Di Biming was a little guilty, so he said, cough. It's really thanks to you this time. I'll give you a few more spiritual fruits tomorrow. Prince Charming, how's your internal injury? Yun Chujio secretly curled her lips. What a stingy person. My internal injury needs to be slowly treated, but it's not a big deal anymore. Prince Charming, since you're fine, then I'll participate in the new disciple trial the day after tomorrow. Those old guys don't want me to participate. I'll just have to win the first place for them. It'll definitely be little ancestor Yun. Yun Chujio was initially conflicted about whether she should stay to take care of Di Biming or go to the trial. Now that he was fine, she naturally had to participate in the trial. Di Biming was in the wrong, so he could not stop Yun Chujio and could only say, then go. Safety first. I should also return. After I leave, if that red-robed fool still comes looking for you, just ignore him. With my threat he won't dare to do anything to you. Although Di Biming said that, he was still a little uncertain. He decided to find something for Shui Wuji to do when he returned, so that he would not have the time to find trouble with Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio said sourly, "All right, you can continue to go back and choose your consort. I really didn't expect you to be such a Prince Charming. On one hand you've swore to stay by my side, and on the other hand, you're out looking for flirtatious bitches." Di Biming was stunned, and then he laughed. "Black thing. When did I swear to stay by you? Besides, the whole concubine selection thing was just a joke. Are you actually jealous? Jealous? I would never do such a lowly thing. If you dare to steal my man, I'll beat them until they can't find their way. Besides, I'm so beautiful now. I'm not afraid that no one will pursue me." Yun Chujio climbed onto the bed angrily and lay down on the inner side. "Black thing, I'm warning you. After I leave, you better stop fooling around with me or I will not forgive you." Di Biming felt that it was better for the black thing not to turn fairer. She was indeed a little more eye-catching. Yun Chujio pursed her lips and did not say anything. "Black thing, did you hear that?" Di Biming poked Yun Chujio, who had her back facing him. "I'm asleep," Yun Chujio said proudly. Di Biming raised his eyebrows. "When I leave tomorrow, I'll leave some delicious food for you. Be obedient." Yun Chujio immediately turned around. "Really? My Prince Charming, I knew you were the best. I'll be obedient and train hard. I'll never be a womanizer. Can you leave some spirit stones for me too?" Chapter 284. Bad review. Di Biming's face darkened. "You can have food and drinks, but spirit stones are out of the question." Yun Chujio curled her lips. "What a stingy gigolo. I'll earn it myself." After breakfast the next day, Di Biming left. Yun Chujio secretly thought to herself, what an unromantic gigolo. He actually left without even giving her a goodbye kiss. Bad review for him. Yun Chujio first looked at the little black bird in the spirit beast pouch. The little black bird could be considered a blessing in disguise. Since it helped Yun Chujio resist the heavenly thunder, it actually went into hibernation again. When this hibernation ended, it would definitely advance again. Yun Chujio thought of the trial that was about to begin and felt that she should prepare for it. Hence, the big kitchen and the spirit herb garden suffered a huge loss. Yun Chujio first went to the kitchen to search for a lot of food, and then she took a few packets of chili powder, pepper, salt and the likes. It was different from the previous borrowing. This time she wanted it openly. Elder Huang was very satisfied with Yun Chujio by then, so he naturally would not be reluctant to give up those little things and let Yun Chujio choose what she needed herself. After Yun Chujio packed the things, she ran to the spirit herb garden again and planned to gather the wool. Coincidentally, Elder Chi was in seclusion to refine pills. Yun Chujio was overjoyed. "Haha, the heavens are really helping me." Since the trial would take a month, even if Elder Chi came out and found out that I borrowed medicinal herbs and wanted to punish me, there was nothing he could do. Moreover, when that time comes, he'll be little Ancestor Yun and he won't dare to do anything to me. Hence, this would be considered an important event for her. After filling up 5 sacks of spirit herbs, she valiantly entered the alchemy room. "Manager Gao, hurry up and open an alchemy room for me. I want to refine pills." Manager Gao saw that Yun Chujio had come again, so he could only give the jade token of alchemy room number 28 to her with a bitter face. "Don't worry. Didn't I not release any poisonous fumes last time? I won't do it this time either. Don't be afraid." Yun Chujio smiled mischievously as she took the jade token and walked away. Manager Gao looked at Yun Chujio's bouncing silhouette and sighed. It turned out that this person could choke them to such an extent even without spiritual power. Now that she had spiritual power, she might not be able to produce an array of terrifying poisonous smoke. It was better for him to inform everyone. Manager Gao told them that Yun Chujio was there to refine pills again. An outer court disciple said, "That's not right. Isn't the new disciple trial tomorrow? Why did Yun Chujio come here to refine pills? Could it be that she doesn't want to participate in the trial anymore?" Humph. Although she can cultivate now, she's only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm. Compared to others, she's still a piece of cake. She probably knew that she would be at the bottom even if she went, so she begged the higher-ups not to go. Perhaps it was Elder Chi who helped to plead for her. "What you said makes sense. Elder Chi thinks highly of Yun Chujio. Otherwise he wouldn't have asked her to help take care of the spirit herb garden. Even senior brother Ding Lang isn't allowed to enter the garden. Ding Lang's face immediately darkened. It turned out that Yun Chujio did not have any spiritual power, and yet his master thought so highly of her. Now that she had spiritual power, would she not be even more favored? Perhaps his master would take her in as a successor disciple. This damned girl should not stay. He must get rid of her once there was a chance. Time flew by and soon it was 2 o'clock on the second day. Many people had already gathered on the southern Jade Square. The vast majority of them were new outer sect disciples and odd job workers. Master Xinyuan spoke as usual and announced that Elder Shao and Elder Chu would be in charge of leading the team for this trial. Then he let everyone board the airship and head to the trial grounds. Just as everyone had boarded the airship and was about to set off, a chopping board flew over from the sky. On it stood a little girl who was desperately waving the scarlet silk in her hand. Wait. Wait for me. I'm coming. Chapter 285. Don't be an eyesore. The corners of Master Xuanyuan's eyes twitched. Wasn't this little girl taking care of her benefactor? Why did she come to participate in the trial? The hearts of the 5 peak masters and elders also sank. They originally thought that Yun Chujio would not participate in the trial and did not expect to be present. Although she was only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm, that chain of lightning strikes was not something an ordinary person could withstand. If she really got into the top 10, Spirit Radiance sect would have an astonishingly senior little ancestor. After Yun Chujio landed, she headed straight for the flying airship. As she ran, she said, "Oh my God, it's all right, it's all right. I almost couldn't make it in time. If I wasn't in this trial, how regretful would you all be?" Everyone's faces were filled with confusion. Yun Chujio, can you save some honor for yourself? You're taking yourself too seriously. There wouldn't be a difference if you were around or not, alright? You're just a small fry at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm. Even if you try, you'll still end up at the bottom. Elder Shao said in a deep voice, "Don't waste your breath. Hurry up and board the ship." Yun Chujio secretly pursed her lips. This Elder Shao definitely did not agree with her. She reckoned that the trashy Bai siblings had often spoken ill of her in front of him. Coincidentally, after Yun Chujio boarded the spaceship, the first thing she saw was the Bai siblings and Yun Chushan. Yun Chujio was slightly stunned. How did their spiritual power increase so quickly? Bai Moyu was already at level 7 of spirit enhancement, and Bai Moru and Yun Chushan had also reached level 6 of spirit enhancement. Little sister Ju, you can also cultivate? That's great. The family head has always had high hopes for you. This time he must be very pleased. Yun Chushan said softly, as if the unpleasant things from before had never happened. Yun Chujio rolled her eyes. Get out of my way. Fake White Lotus. 1. Yun Chushan had never expected Yun Chujio to embarrass her in front of so many people. Her eyes were slightly red and she seemed to be suppressing her sadness as she said, "Little sister Jio, I was kind enough to congratulate you, but you actually said that to me. It really makes me sad." When Yun Chushan's admirers saw the beauty crying, they immediately glared at Yun Chujio. It seemed that if it were not for the elders present, they would have rolled up their sleeves and beat Yun Chujio up. Are you sad? Then get lost and be sad. Don't be an eyesore in front of me. Yun Chujio was now a free serf who could voice her opinions. Naturally, she would not swallow her anger and would do whatever she pleased. Yun Chushan was stunned for a moment, then she covered her face and ran away. A few of her admirers glared at Yun Chujio and followed her. Chapter 286. What kind of precious object was that? Everyone stared at Yun Chujio and the others who were eating so sweetly. Who the hell came out to train and even brought a banquet? What a foodie. Some people looked at Yun Chujio's storage ring. The storage ring was expensive and was not something that ordinary people could afford. They did not know where Yun Chujio got a storage ring from. It was probably given to her by Elder Chi. She was really lucky. Yun Chujio was very shrewd. When she saw that Elder Shao and the other elders had not eaten yet, she ran over eagerly. "Elders, you haven't eaten yet, right? I've prepared a feast for you, please accept it." Although the elders did not care about their appetites, food that looked good, was fragrant and tasty was naturally much better than having fasting pills. Therefore their attitude toward Yun Chujio turned as warm as spring. The people who were eating the steamed buns secretly cursed Yun Chujio for being shameless. Then they secretly made up their minds. In the future they would work hard to earn money. If they could not afford a storage ring, it would be good to buy a few more storage bags. Otherwise, they would only be able to store steamed buns. After Yunchujio was done with being hospitable, she returned to her seat and continued eating. The next morning, everyone arrived at the trial ground. Everyone got off the airship and was stunned. Did they not say that the trial ground was an ancient mystic realm? This place was bare. No need to even mention an ancient mystic realm, there was not even a strand of hair. Elder Chu saw everyone's confusion and could not help but twitch his lips. What a bunch of small fry. Well, that Yunchujio barely even counts. Elder Chu and Elder Shao joined hands to form a seal and threw out a shiny object. Yunchujio's eyes immediately began to glow with blue light. It was a treasure. What kind of precious object was that? Yunchujio focused her gaze and immediately felt deflated. It turned out to be just a fragment of a mirror. After Elder Chu and Elder Shao's hand seals landed on the mirror fragment, the scene before everyone's eyes changed. A huge mountain gate appeared in front of everyone. Although it was dilapidated, the faint prehistoric aura it exuded made people involuntarily want to kneel down and worship it. The pillars of the mountain gate were carved with ancient and complicated patterns. Some curious disciples stared at it for a while and immediately felt dizzy. They hurriedly lowered their heads and did not dare to look at it again. It was as if taking a glance at it was a blasphemy to this ancient relic. The trial will last for a month. The final result will be calculated based on the demonic beast inner core and spiritual pill that you've obtained. Later on, each of you will be given a jade token. If you encounter danger and want to voluntarily give up, you only need to crush the jade token and you'll be teleported out. When the trial's deadline is up, you'll be teleported out. Now enter the grounds. Elder Shao said in a deep voice. Just as the people of Spirit Radiance sect were about to enter the trial grounds, a huge airship flew over from the sky. Those with sharp eyes immediately recognized it. It's the spaceship of the Heavenly Gate sect. Don't tell me they're also here to train. After the airship landed, a few people who looked like elders walked out first, followed by some disciples, odd job workers and so on. Walking in front of the group of disciples was a beautiful and refined woman with a cold and arrogant face. However, she looked at Yunchujio as if she had been poisoned. It was Su Yenran. When the Bai siblings saw Su Yenran, their eyes revealed a strange joy. Yunchujio, you're dead meat this time. Elder Shao and the others were very surprised. Over the years, although the four great sects did not have an explicit agreement, they had tacitly avoided the time of the other sect's trial. What did the Heavenly Gate sect meant with this? Everyone please. I didn't expect that the trial for the new disciples of our two sects would actually be held on the same day. What a coincidence. An old man with a hooked nose cupped his hands at Elder Chu and the others. Although Elder Shao and the others were bewildered, they were still chatting happily with the elders of the Heavenly Gate sect. After chatting for a while, they reverted to the main topic. Elder Zhang, the leader of the Heavenly Gate sect, said with a fake smile, "Everyone, our two sects are fated. Since we've met, why don't we make a bet?" Make a bet? Elder Shao thought to himself. It seems that the Heavenly Gate sect had lost their honor last time, so this time, they're looking for trouble. Chapter 287. This fellow does not want to enter anymore. It's very simple. Well, just bet on which of our two sects will have the highest points in the end. As for the stakes, 1,000,000 low-grade spirit stones shouldn't be much. It's just to add to the fun. Elder Zhang said, but a trace of cunningness flashed in his eyes. Elder Shao and Elder Chu exchanged glances. They had been forced to this point, so they naturally had to agree. Otherwise, they would think that Spirit Radiance sect was afraid of the Heavenly Gate sect. All right. It's a deal. Then let's have your sect take out the void mirror fragment as well. Let the disciples enter. Elder Shao said in a deep voice. Elder Zhang nodded. Then he and Elder Zheng from the Heavenly Gate sect formed a seal at the same time. Then they threw out a mirror fragment as well, and it floated in the air together with Spirit Radiance sect's mirror fragment. Elder Zhang and the disciples of the Heavenly Gate sect exchanged a few words. The gist was similar to what Elder Shao had said. After the disciples of the two sects received the teleportation jade token, they disappeared after entering the mountain gate. They had already been randomly teleported to different areas. Yunchujio had secretly planned to go in hand with Yunchuzi and the others, so that they could stay together. The more people there were, the greater the strength. Even if they encountered powerful demonic beasts, they would not be afraid. Moreover, when they rested at night, they could take turns to be on guard, which was beneficial to the preservation of their physical strength. Yun Chujio did not expect that this mysterious ancient land to have so many restrictions. For example, only those who were refining could enter, and that they would be teleported randomly, or that they were forbidden to fly or use any talismans in there. Yun Chujio could only secretly give each of them a few porcelain bottles. Then she said, "There are hemostatic pills, fasting pills, and a few bottles of poisons with different effects. Keep them well. Remember, one must guard against others. Don't meddle in other people's business. Nothing is more important than one's life. When the situation gets bad, run away. If you really can't do it, break the jade token. Do you hear me?" Although Yun Chuzi and the others were older than Yun Chujio, they all felt that they did not have as many ideas as her. They all listened carefully and expressed that they would definitely do as Yun Chujio said. Yun Chujio mumbled to herself and instructed them on some other matters before she followed everyone into the mountain gate. A dazzling white light flashed, and with a bang Yun Chujio was thrown to the ground. But why did the place she teleported to look so familiar? Yun Chujio rubbed her sore buttocks that were about to break into pieces. She stood up to take a look. Fuck, why was she not teleported in but bounced back instead? The elders of Spirit Radiance sect and the Heavenly Gates sect were also dumbfounded. What was going on? For thousands of years, they had never heard of any disciple being bounced back. Even the disciples who did not meet the conditions only had jade tokens that did not react. Why was this little girl bounced back? Yun Chujio laughed dryly. "I reckon that the mystic realm took a nap just now. I'll try again." Yun Chujio carefully walked into the mountain gate again. Then a white light flashed and the miserable Yun Chujio was once again thrown to the ground. "Fuck. Are you done fooling around? I can forgive you for being careless after falling once. But you've done it again and again. Do you think I want to go in? Fuck, I'm not going in anymore." Yun Chujio pointed at the mountain gate and cursed. Everyone was stunned. From ancient times until now, no one had heard of anyone sitting on the ground, pointing at the ancient realm and cursing. Moreover, this matter was too strange. Why did the mystery realm want to bounce this little girl out? The elders of the Spirit Radiance sect thought of a question at the same time. Could it be that Yun Chujio was rejected by the ancient realm because she had a heavenly thunder root spirit and was not tolerated by the heavens? While everyone was still in a daze, a dazzling white light flashed. Yun Chujio, who was on the ground, was sucked into the mountain gate by a suction and disappeared without a trace. Chapter 288. Yun Chujio, who had nothing left to live for the elders of Spirit Radiance sect, tensed up. How did Yun Chujio get sucked in again? Could it be that this ancient mystical realm wanted to take revenge on Yun Chujio? This ancient mystical realm had existed for tens of thousands of years, so it was inevitable that it would produce a weapon spirit existence. If it wanted to take revenge on Yun Chujio, it was likely that Yun Chujio would be doomed. Could it be that even the teleportation jade token would lose its effect? The more the people from Spirit Radiance sect thought about it, the more they felt that things were not looking good. Although they did not want Yun Chujio to become some little ancestor Yin, Yun Chujio has the rare heavenly thunder root spirit. Was she going to die just like that? Although the people from the Heavenly Gates sect were also a little surprised, this matter had nothing to do with them. They just treated it as a pastime and put it aside after a short discussion. Elder Zhang's eyes revealed a trace of viciousness. Yun Chujio, you better pray that you don't run into people from the Heaven Gate sect, or else your life will be taken. How dare you humiliate my grandson? How audacious. The grandson of Elder Zhang was Zhang Xiong, who was forced by Yun Chujio to write a confession at Middle Peaks cafeteria previously. After Zhang Xiong went back, he told Elder Zhang everything that happened. When Elder Zhang came, he had already given an order to the people of Heavenly Gates sect. After entering the mystic realm, if they encountered Yun Chujio, she should be killed without mercy. As for the other members of Spirit Radiance sect, they would snatch the pills and demonic beast cores that they had gathered. If the opportunity was right, they could kill them. The prerequisite was that they could not be seen by others. Achoo. Which bastard is scolding me? Yun Chujio, whose face was full of despair, sneezed twice. Why did she have nothing to live for? Yun Chujio felt that the place where she was teleported to was too much of a pain in the asteriscus. The place where Yun Chujio was teleported to was a desert that stretched as far as the eye could see. Although it was not noon yet, the sunlight was scorching and it felt like fire burning on her face. The place where Yunchujio fell should not be far from a water source because there were several huge cacti growing there, and Yunchujio was directly teleported into the flower heart of a huge cactus. It was not that Yunchujio had not considered jumping off it. Although the distance from the ground was very high, the ground was covered with sand. It would not hurt her if she fell. Sadly, there were more than 1,000 desert scorpions lying densely on the ground. These desert scorpions were Tier 3 demonic beasts. Each of them was more than 3 feet long. Chapter 289. Delicious Cactus Fruit Dam. Why isn't there any reaction? Could it be that she was given a defective product? Yunchujio almost choked. Which bastard was sabotaging her? He actually gave her a useless jade token. When I get out, I will not let him off. However, it was not the time to be angry. It was better to think about what to do. The flower was on the verge of breaking. At that moment, Yunchujio was extremely thankful for her small, dry body. Otherwise, she would have fallen off if it had been more plump. What should she do? The chopping board could not be used. The concealment talisman given to her by the gigolo could not be used either. The defensive spirit tool could be used, but there were so many desert scorpions there. She was afraid that she would not be able to last until the end. She did not expect that such a beautiful genius like her would actually die there. This was really unreasonable. Yunchujio used her spiritual sense to rummage through her storage ring. Her eyes lit up when she saw the scarlet silk. Yunchujio tied a knot on the top of the scarlet silk. Then she threw it onto the branch of the nearest cactus, pulled it tightly and swung it over. The moment Yunchujio left the flower, the stalk of the flower broke completely and fell into the group of scorpions. The scorpions did not reject it and ate the flower. Yunchujio could not help but wonder why these scorpions did not eat the cactus. Just as Yunchujio was distracted, a few giant thorns on the cactus actually separated from its original body and shot toward Yunchujio. Fortunately, Yunchujio had a defensive spirit tool on her body, which formed a spiritual energy barrier to block the giant thorns. Otherwise, she would have been pierced into a sieve. Yunchujio finally understood why those scorpions did not eat the cactus. It turned out that when these cactuses were attacked, they would use the thorns to attack the enemy. Fortunately, she was teleported into the flower's heart. If she were to crash into the cactus, Yunchujio convinced herself that the scene was too beautiful, so it was better not to think about it. She carefully found a flower that looked relatively sturdy and sat inside the flower's heart. For the time being, her life was no longer in danger. Yunchujio was drooling over the cactus fruit next to her. Although the cactus flowers were huge, the fruit was only the size of 2 adult fists. It was red and emitted a sweet fragrance. However, there were also some tiny thorns on the fruits. They were probably used for defense. Yunchujio threw the scarlet silk at the nearest fruit. As expected, the little thorns on the fruit shot toward the scarlet silk. Yunchujio deliberately waited for a while until the thorns on the fruit were gone. Only then did she put away the scarlet silk. Yunchujio looked at the fruit carefully. It was quite similar to the fire dragon fruit, but she was not sure if it tasted good or not. Since there was a strange grass in her dantum, she was not afraid of being poisoned to death. She peeled off the skin of the fruit and casually threw it on the ground. Then she took a small bite. It's delicious. Too delicious. It's soft, sweet and juicy. Yunchujio began to eat like a wolf. After finishing her food, she was still not satisfied, so she brought back all the fruits that she could get from the surroundings and started to eat them happily. Yunchujio could not eat anymore, so she put the rest into her storage ring. After eating and drinking her fill, Yunchujio started to worry. Staying in this flower heart was not a long-term solution. The flowers on this cactus might wither the next day. What should she do then? These damn scorpions would not be watching her all the time, would they? She was so skinny that she did not even have a couple tails of meat. Why would so many of them be watching her? Just as Yunchujio was frowning, she suddenly heard a commotion on the ground. Yunchujio stretched her neck and looked down curiously. Then she was shocked. Chapter 290. Natural foodies must be useful. Fuck. What was going on? Yunchujio noticed that the desert scorpions on the ground were starting to fight among themselves. Dozens of scorpions attacked their own kind as if they had gone crazy, and then began to fight among themselves. Yun Chujio touched her chin and thought to herself, could it be that these scorpions had gone crazy? The dozens of scorpions were quickly bitten to death by their own kind, and the victorious scorpions began to eat the corpses. A dramatic scene ensued. The scorpions that ate the corpses also began to become restless. Although they were not as crazy as the dozens of scorpions before, they were clearly becoming restless. Soon a chaotic battle broke out again. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Why did the symptoms of these scorpions seem like they had rabies? It seemed to be some kind of poison, but after the second infection it was starting to weaken. Yun Chujio's eyes suddenly lit up. Could it be because they ate the skin of the cactus fruit that she threw at them? In order to verify her theory, Yun Chujio took out a cactus fruit from her storage ring, peeled off the skin and threw it on the ground. A few scorpions quickly ate the skin. After a while the few scorpions began to bite their own kind crazily. Yun Chujio could not help but laugh at the sky. Ha! A natural foodie must be useful. If it weren't for my greed, how could I have found such an interesting thing? After they kill each other I only need to pick up their demon cores. Let me do the math, she counted with her fingers. Desert scorpions were a tier 3 demon beast. A demon core cost 100 points. There were more than 1,000 of them here. It was not impossible for her to get 100,000 points. Yun Chujio did not have a choice. She quickly peeled off the remaining cactus fruits and threw them on the ground. Then she watched the desert scorpions continuously attack each other. She was shouting and cheering from above. Go. Bite it to death. Idiot. Bite it. Use your pincers to clamp it. You little cripple. Charge. Sacrifice yourself for little happy me. These desert scorpions already had some intelligence. Perhaps they felt that something was wrong. The hundreds of scorpions on the outside quickly ran away. Yun Chujio groaned in pain. Don't run. Keep fighting. Seriously. Tens of thousands of points are gone just like that. Yun Chujio waited for a while. After making sure that the scorpions had really run far away, she jumped down from the flower and landed on the sand. Yun Chujio looked at the few cactuses beside her, then picked up a scorpion's corpse and threw it at one of the cactuses. The huge thorns on the cactuses instantly turned the scorpions into hedgehogs. Yun Chujio relied on the spirit weapon to protect herself and kept throwing the scorpions' corpses on the ground at the cactuses. Soon the thorns on the cactuses were all shot out. Yun Chujio did the same thing, removing the thorns on the other cactuses. Then she started to use the silk to remove the cactus fruits and put them in her storage ring happily. This thing was not only delicious, but also a must-have for pit beasts. He had to get more. After picking all the fruits, she felt that these cactuses might be beneficial, so she took out a big kitchen knife and cut off one of them with great strength and put it in her storage ring. Yun Chujio took out the demon cores from the desert scorpions and put them away. Then she hopped toward the east. Why did she head east? Because the scorpions had escaped to the west, so she naturally had to go in the opposite direction. However, she overlooked something. Perhaps the scorpions were afraid of something in the east, so they fled to the west. Chapter 291. A tough nut to crack. At first, Yun Chujio was still hopping around. Then she started walking faster and then slowed down before finally quickened her pace again. Damn it! Is there no end to this lousy desert? I'm so tired. Rolling pin, can't you install 2 wheels under the chopping board and become multifunctional? The rolling pin's heart was on the verge of collapse. Master, I'm a pin. A pin. The fact that I can turn into a chopping board was already very abnormal, okay? Now you want me to have wheels. This is simply a tough nut to crack. If I knew this would happen, I would have kept a scorpion. I pulled out its stinger, cut off its pincers and mount it. What a mistake. Fortunately, I have enough food and water. I can last for a month at most. When the time is up, I will naturally be teleported out. After Yun Chujio mentally adjusted herself and continued to move forward slowly. At noon, the sun was even hotter. Yun Chujio was afraid that her skin would turn tan again, so she wrapped herself tightly and made a simple parasol before continuing to move forward. Finally, Yun Chujio saw a patch of green in front of her. Could it be a desert oasis? Yun Chujio was suddenly energized. She did not care about the parasol and ran quickly. After a while, Yun Chujio ran back quickly and shouted as she ran, "Fuck! Didn't they say that the highest level demon beast here is a tier 4 demon beast? Why is there a tier 8 single-horned demon lizard? A large amount of sand and dust rose behind Yunchujio as a huge green single-horned demon lizard crawled over. Yunchujio wanted to cry, but no tears came out. Wait. That was equivalent to the 9th level of the spirit cultivator realm. Back then, although those mighty elephants were fooled by her, that was because they were afraid of the almighty experts in spirit radiance sex array formation. This single-horned demon lizard did not have any worries. No wonder that group of damned desert scorpions did not flee this way. It turned out that there was such a great demon beast here. Who the fuck would dare to come? Throwing the cactus fruit? What kind of joke was that? Even if the one-horned demon lizard did not go crazy, it was already so terrifying. If it went crazy, would it not go absolutely berserk? Yunchujio was already exhausted to begin with, so the single-horned demon lizard caught up with her effortlessly. It extended its long tongue toward Yunchujio. She dodged to the side. Yunchujio knew that she would not be able to outrun the single-horned demon lizard, so she could only stop and take out the rolling pin to fight it. Keep your tongue. Listen to me first. You can eat me later. Yunchujio looked at the single-horned demon lizard's long tongue and could not help but get goosebumps all over her body. The single-horned demon lizard was stunned. It did not expect that this little human girl would not run away. Although it could not speak human language, it could still understand it. We don't have any grudges with each other, right? I didn't steal your beauty nor kill your child, right? Yunchujio asked seriously. The single-horned demon lizard did not know what Yunchujio meant with that question, so it nodded its huge head. So, you and I have no grudges. Why do you have to eat me then? Yunchujio said innocently. The single-horned demon lizard looked at Yunchujio with disdain. It obviously thought that Yunchujio was asking nonsense. The strong preyed on the weak. What kind of reason did she need? Look, my body is skinny and I don't have much meat. How about this? I have the demon cores of the desert scorpion in my storage ring. Isn't that thing more delicious than my meat? I'll give you a dozen of them. Let me go. Yunchujio took out a handful of desert scorpion's demon cores from her storage ring, as she said pitifully. Chapter 292. Can't ever get married. The single-horned demon lizard's huge eyes flashed with a trace of cunningness, and then it nodded. Yunchujio threw the desert scorpion's demon core in her hand and then quickly ran forward. The single-horned demon lizard's tongue nimbly flew up and down, catching all the demon cores that Yunchujio deliberately threw in all directions into its mouth. Then, with a strong push of its hind legs, it actually jumped up and landed in front of Yunchujio, blocking her. Damn it! She knew that the ugly reptile was greedy and shameless. Yunchujio showed an expression of deceive. Lord Lizard, you can't be like this. You've already eaten my demon cores. Why do you still want to eat me? You're not being honest. The single-horned devil lizard showed a contemptuous look. Not being honest? We can be honest after I eat you. The devil lizard stretched out its huge tongue and moved toward Yunchujio. Yunchujio continued to throw the desert scorpion's demon cores while hiding. Seeing that there were more demon cores to eat, the single-horned demon lizard immediately changed its target and started to eat the demon cores with its tongue. Yunchujio took the opportunity to turn around and run away. However, it was obvious that the struggle was futile. The single-horned demon lizard soon caught up with her again. Yunchujio had no choice but to throw more demon cores again. Just like that, Yunchujio saw that she had fed all of the demon cores from her storage ring to the one-horned demon lizard, yet she did not get far. The single-horned demon lizard caught up with the miserable girl once again. Seeing that Yunchujio did not throw more demon cores at it, the demon lizard knew that the girl did not have any more left. It opened its mouth wide and stretched out its tongue toward Yunchujio. Stop it. Keep your tongue. I have something to say. Besides, I can't escape from your tongue. Don't tell me you don't even dare to let me have a few words. Yunchujio dodged the single-horned demon lizard's tongue in a fluster and said while panting. The single-horned demon lizard naturally did not care much about Yunchujio, this insignificant dish. It retracted its tongue and stared at Yunchujio with its huge eyes. Demon lizard, do you want to leave this arcane realm? I see that you're powerful. You're probably the most unique in this whole desert, right? Then we have a problem. You'll probably never find a suitable partner in your life. If you made yourself lesser just to find a lowly partner, it'll be unfair to your descendants. How about we make a deal? Don't kill me and I'll take you out of the arcane realm to find you a beautiful lizard. The single-horned magic lizard was dumbfounded. What was this human girl talking about? Looking for a partner? A beautiful lizard? The single-horned magic lizard's face turned red. Up until then it was still a virgin lizard. Damn it. This human girl must have said this on purpose to humiliate it. I won't let her off. The single-horned devil lizard flew into a rage out of humiliation. It stuck out its huge tongue and swept it toward Yunchujio. Oh, males and females should be married. What's there to be shy about? Let me tell you. With your looks, you won't be able to get a wife for the rest of your life. The single-horned demon lizard was so angry that it felt like it was about to faint. This little girl had been trying to curry favor with it and beg for mercy. Why did she suddenly change the way she talked? It must consume her. Looking at your ugly appearance, I reckon that only a female toad would be interested in you. It's a pity that you don't have that species here, so you should just give up on that idea. The single-horned demon lizard wished it could swallow Yunchujio in one go. However, although this little human girl's spiritual power was low, her movements were too damn agile. It could not catch her. Damn it. Yunchujio secretly estimated the time in her heart and finally smiled. Ugly reptile, do you think I'm afraid of you? Take this. Little Geo Thunderbolt. Chapter 293. Was really too much. The one-horned demon lizard was very disdainful. Did not even try to dodge. To it, an attack from a level 4 spirit enhancement cultivator was nothing more than a scratch. Not only did the demon lizard not dodge, it even stuck out its long tongue toward Yunchujio. Yunchujio waved her right hand, and a purple lightning bolt directly struck at the single-horned demon lizard's tongue. The single-horned demon lizard was stunned. Was that a thunderbolt? And it was purple. The single-horned demon lizard was too shocked. It was actually struck to a daze by the lightning. In an instant, black smoke rose from its tongue. The single-horned demon lizard cried out in pain. This time it was completely enraged. Due to the injury to its tongue, the single-horned demon lizard used its tough tail to attack. Its huge tail slapped at Yunchujio. She struck the single-horned demon lizard's tail with another bolt of lightning. Although it did not leave a hole, it still made the single-horned demon lizard grimace in pain. What was going on? A mere 4th-level spirit-enhanced lowlife could not only emit purple lightning, but it could also attack consecutively. Was this even human? Could it be a great demon that had transformed? Although the single-horned demon lizard was shocked, it was not afraid. After all, the difference in strength was there. My skin is rough and my flesh is thick. Even if I am tired, I will tire this little girl to death. However, the single-horned demon lizard began to realize that something was wrong. Why was its spiritual energy gradually disappearing? The single-horned demon lizard had an ominous premonition in its heart. Its movements became slower and slower. However, the little human girl was getting more and more addicted to hacking it with thunderbolts. The single-horned demon lizard's tail was already beginning to emit black smoke from all the hacking. Why aren't you showing off, ugly reptile? Why aren't you showing off? Didn't you want to eat me up? Do you think that I'm so easy to take advantage of? To tell you the truth, the first 2 batches of demon cores I gave you didn't have any added finesse, but I've added them to the rest. Yunchujio said as she zapped it. The first 2 batches of demon cores that she gave to the single-horned demon lizard were fine, but the single-horned demon lizard was very proud of teasing Yunchujio. It did not realize that the later batch of demon cores had been wrapped by Yunchujio's spirit-devouring powder. Yunchujio was rambling on and on just to let the medicinal effects take effect. How could this single-horned devil lizard be better than the mischievous Yunchujio? The single-horned devil lizard's mood was crumbling. It was a tier 8 demonic beast. In this desert, it was the absolute king. It was actually cheated by a little human girl at level 4 of spirit enhancement. It had nowhere to put its old face. Where did this weirdo come from? Not only did she have the thunder root spirit, but she was also full of evil tricks. She truly was a trickster. The single-horned demon lizard only had the advantage in size now. It no longer had any desire to fight. It turned around and was about to run away. Hey, you ugly reptile, stop right there. You ate so many of my demon cores and now you want to run away? No way. Those are my points. Yunchujio thought to herself. If she let this single-horned demon lizard go, it would be like letting a tiger return to the mountains. Once it recovered its spiritual power, how would she survive? She had to kill it. Seeing that Yunchujio was chasing after it, the single-horned demon lizard could only continue to fight with Yunchujio fiercely. Although the demon lizard was huge, it had little spiritual power left. It was not a match for Yunchujio, this perverted child. An hour later, the single-horned demon lizard was finally killed by Yunchujio. She put the demon lizard's body into her storage ring and sat on the ground, panting heavily. This fierce battle was theoretically easy, but every step was extremely dangerous. If the single-horned demon lizard had not underestimated its opponent, she would not have had any chance of winning. Yunchujio did not dare to stay any longer. After taking a short rest, she continued walking toward the east. Chapter 294. Was about to die in the desert. Yunchujio's physical strength was almost exhausted. She took out a spiritual fruit given to her by Biming from her storage ring. After eating it, her physical strength instantly recovered by half. Yunchujio could not help but sigh. This fruit is really good. Next time I see the gigolo, I'll definitely ask for more. Although the gigolo is quite stingy sometimes, he seems to treat me well. Yunchujio's thoughts started to wander. Speaking of that, the gigolo's figure is really good. When will my body be a little more curvaceous? Yunchujio kept walking forward while her imagination ran wild. After about 2 hours, she finally saw green again. This time she did not dare to act rashly. She carefully moved forward and then cheered, "Oasis. It's really an oasis this time." Yunchujio ran over. When she got closer, it was really a small desert oasis. Yunchujio deliberately checked it, but there was not a single demon beast. Yunchujio rolled her eyes and got an idea. The area was probably the single-horned demon lizard's territory, so the demon beasts naturally did not dare to get close. There were more than 100 sand dune willow growing on this small oasis. In the middle of the willow forest was a pool of clear spring water. The most amazing thing was that in such a hot desert, the spring water was actually cold. Just as Yunchujio was about to wash her face, the strange grass in her dantian began to become restless again, clamoring for Yunchujio to drink water. Yunchujio was just thirsty, so she squatted down and began to drink water. However, she never expected that after she had enough, she could not control herself anymore when she wanted to get up. Yunchujio kept drinking the water in the pool. She could not even close her mouth, let alone get up. "Bastard. Are you trying to rebel? Stop right now." Not only did the strange grass not stop, he even proudly twisted his body toward Yunchujio. "Just you wait. The moment I leave the mystic realm, I will cut your abdomen. I must get rid of you, you evil spirit." The strange grass, which was of the green foxtail species, paused for a moment, then ingratiatingly formed 2 of the leaves into the shape of a heart. "Fuck. You've learned how to act cute. It's useless. Just stop. Are you trying to stuff me to death? If I die, you won't live either. You're courting death. Obedient grass, as long as you stop, I'll immediately feed you a basin of pills, okay?" Unfortunately, no matter how Yunchujio threatened and lured it, the strange grass seemed to have made up its mind. It kept controlling Yunchujio's body to drink the spring water in the pond. Yunchujio wanted to cry, but she had no tears. If others found out that she was actually stuffed to death by the water, they would laugh their heads off. The most shocking thing was that she was also stuffed to death by the water in the desert. It was too weird, was it not? Yunchujio was at her wit's end. She felt like an old cow constantly drinking the pond water. She cursed in her heart. This pond might not look big, but there must be a spring under it. How could she finish drinking it? She did not know what was wrong with the green foxtail in her dantian. Time passed and the sky gradually darkened. The temperature dropped sharply. Although Yunchujio lost control of her body, she still had her senses. She cursed the strange grass over 10,000 times with her spiritual sense. Although it acted cute and shameless from time to time, its attitude was extremely firm. It was to drink, drink, drink. Yunchujio could not help but think. People said that the Prime Minister could hold a ship in his stomach. But her stomach could even hold an aircraft carrier. Chapter 295. Secret of the bottom of the pond. Yunchujio felt that the strange grass was just trying to torture her. The single-horned demon lizard was so huge and it had been drinking the spring water for hundreds of years. How could a small body like hers finish all the spring water? In actual fact, Yun Chujio had misunderstood. The single-horned demon lizard occupied the area because the spring water was very cool. Although the spring water was so clear that one could see the bottom, the single-horned demon lizard did not dare to drink it because the spring water contained a lethal poison. The concept of poison did not exist in Yun Chujio's mind as of then because no matter what strange poison she encountered, it would become the nourishment for the strange grass. Just when Yun Chujio felt that she was about to freeze to death, the water level in the pool started visibly dropping. Yun Chujio was amazed. Did I really drink the spring dry? The water level gradually dropped, before finally revealing the pebble-filled bottom. Yun Chujio thought if only these pebbles were all spirit stones. Then it wouldn't be such a waste for me to drink a bellyful of water. Green Foxtail, the water is all gone. You can let me off already, right? Yun Chujio was already exasperated by the strange grass. Unexpectedly, it instructed Yun Chujio's hand to start rummaging through the rocks at the bottom of the pool. Fuck. Green Foxtail. You're just making fun of me, aren't you? Do you have a lover under these broken rocks? It's the middle of the night and you're not letting me sleep. Are you crazy? Yun Chujio was about to go mad. The strange grass quickly formed the leaves into a heart shape and started acting cute. Get lost. Yun Chujio felt like she was about to break down. She searched through all the rocks at the bottom of the pond but did not find anything special. She did not even find the spring. It was really strange. Since there was no spring, where did the water come from? Finally, Yun Chujio found a plant that looked like an aquatic plant under a rock in the corner. It was so bright that if one did not look carefully they would not have found it. After Yun Chujio grabbed the plant, it kept struggling, trying to escape. Before she could react, the strange grass ordered Yun Chujio to swallow the plant. Then it grabbed the plant and began to nibble on it. Yun Chujio finally regained control of her body. Damn it! Did you torture me for so long just for a piece of broken waterweed? Green Foxtail, just you wait, I must think of a way to kill you. The strange grass in her dantian was eating happily and turned a deaf ear to Yun Chujio's curses and threats. Yun Chujio did not have the time to keep cursing it because it was too cold. Yun Chujio quickly took out a quilt from her storage ring and wrapped herself up. It's too cold. I have to build a fire. Unfortunately, these willows aren't dead or else. Yun Chujio stopped abruptly. It was only now that she realized that the willow forest, which was full of vitality before, had become dry with withered branches. What was going on? Yun Chujio inexplicably thought of the aquatic plant that was eaten by the strange grass. Could it be that the water in the pond was the willow's fluids? Were the aquatic plants supposed by the willows? Or were the willows the aquatic plant's food? Yun Chujio shivered. Why did she feel like she was in the same situation as the willows? Would she end up like them if the strange grass in her dantian was taken away? Chapter 296. Strange grass acting cute. Yun Chujio felt that the strange grass in her dantian was like a ticking time bomb. Sooner or later it would kill her. If she did not get it out, sooner or later she would become its nourishment. However, if she got rid of it, perhaps she would become a mummy. It was a dead end no matter how she thought about it. Even the gigolo could not find the origin of this strange grass. Could it be that she could only wait for death? Fortunately, Yun Chujio was an optimistic and open-minded person. After a moment of melancholy, she pulled herself together. Damn it! Even the heavenly lightning can't kill me. I'm not afraid of some grass. There will always be a way. Just as Yun Chujio was cheering herself up, her stomach began to growl. Yun Chujio was laughing to herself. Damn it! She had drunk so much water, yet she was still hungry. Where did all the water go? Yun Chujio took out a large kitchen knife and cut some dried willows. She lit a bonfire and it was finally warmer. Then she took out a table from her storage ring, placed the food on the table and started to eat. After eating and drinking, Yun Chujio cut a few dried branches to build a simple tent. Then she put the rolling pin on top of the tent. Stay alert at the top of the tent, little flame. Call me if there's any movement. Yun Chujio stuffed a few thick branches into the bonfire. Then she put down a few thick blankets inside the tent and laid down. Although she lit a bonfire and covered herself with a few layers of blankets, Yun Chujio still felt chilly. Sigh, the gigolo's clothes were turned to dust by the lightning last time. I'll have to ask him for 2 more sets of clothes another day. Those clothes are cool and insulated. They're much better than the ones I'm wearing. Ah, just mentioning the lightning makes my nose bleed. Sooner or later, I'll have to find a way to get rid of the strange grass. Otherwise, if I choke on my butt, won't those coquettish bitches benefit? Yunchujia's imagination ran wild for a while before she finally fell into a deep sleep. As the single-horned demon lizard was very powerful, no demon beasts dared to step into the area. Therefore Yunchujio slept very peacefully that night. The next morning Yunchujio was woken up by the heat. The desert's climate was so strange. It was so cold at night and so hot during the day. Yunchujio could not help but sigh. The heat was even worse than the cold. If it was cold, she could build a fire and wear more clothes. However, if it was hot, there was nothing she could do. Unless she brought a pool with her at all times. But when she said that, Yunchujia's eyes lit up. Green foxtail. You made a big mistake yesterday. Shouldn't you show some gratitude to me? Yunchujio said sourly when she saw that the leaves of the plant became even greener after it chewed on the aquatic plant. Chapter 297. The Silver Desert Wolf, Humph. You know your place. Yunchujio satisfyingly put the small bead in her pocket. After breakfast, she put out the bonfire completely and kept the simple tent in her storage ring. He thought for a while. The desert was so cold at night that she did not know if she would be able to walk outside if she needed to. It was better for her to cut some branches and have them ready. Therefore Yunchujio picked up the large kitchen knife and started cutting. After a while she felt that it was too inefficient and in the end she simply used lightning to strike them. She was quite greedy and proceeded to keep half of the willow forest in her storage ring before continuing to walk east. She had long forgotten about the fear from last night. She bounced forward and sang as she walked, "You're the wind and I'm the sand. It is lingering and winding around the ends of the earth." When she reached a slope, she simply curled her body into a ball and rolled down happily. She was having lots of fun. This so-called ancient arcane realm is still quite fun. No wonder he was unwilling to let me in. Finji. Yunchujio muttered to herself. A certain realm spirit was mad. Yunchujio, you weirdo. He could not even kill her by throwing her into the wild desert. If it was not against the rules, it would have directly teleported her to the thorn of the giant cactus. It had spent a lot of effort gathering thousands of desert scorpions to besiege her, but who would have thought that those idiots would actually kill themselves? It was simply angered to no end. The fruit of the giant cactus was extremely poisonous and could make people or demon beasts go crazy. How could Yunchujio eat so much and still be completely fine? Furthermore, the one-horned demon lizard was a tier 8 demon beast. It was actually played to death by that little weirdo. Was that not too weird? What made the realm spirit the angriest was that she actually ate that thing. She ate it. Such a heaven-defying little weirdo should not exist. This was against the law of heavens. It did not believe that it would not be able to kill her in its territory. Yunchujio, just you wait. While Yunchujio was jumping around happily, she suddenly sneezed twice. Damn it. Who's scolding me again? Speaking of which, why is this damn desert so big? When can I walk out of it? I won't be spending the whole month in the desert, right? Yunchujio walked for a whole day. Other than the endless yellow sand, she did not meet a single soul. At night, Yunchujio lit a bonfire. She was extremely glad that she had cut down a bunch of dried willow branches. Otherwise, she would have been frozen at night. When she slept until midnight, the rolling pin cried out in alarm, "Master! Master! Quickly get up! The situation isn't good." Yunchujio jumped up and rushed outside the tent. She saw dust clouds rolling in the distance. It seemed that a large group of demon beasts was rushing over. Yunchujio put away her tent and quickly ran away. My goodness, there are so many demonic beasts. Even if there were 10 of them, they would not be enough to satisfy her. Although Yunchujio's body was light, she was in the desert after all, so she could not run fast at all. Soon those demonic beasts caught up. Those demonic beasts worked well together. Some of them deliberately took a long route and arrived in front of Yunchujio. Yunchujio was trapped in the middle of these demonic beasts. Only then did Yunchujio carefully examine those demonic beasts. It turned out to be dozens of silver desert wolves. They were tier 5 demonic beasts and were very fierce. Yunchujio thought to herself, this silver desert wolf is very beautiful. Did it have tall silver fur? Yunchujio was so stupid that the rolling pin was about to cry. Please, they want to eat you. You actually have the time to admire their appearance. Are you stupid? Chapter 298. Looking at airships, those silver desert wolves did not attack rashly. One of them, who was larger than the others and presumably the king, walked to the front. It howled fiercely at Yunchujio. The other silver wolves followed suit. The earth-shattering howls were especially horrifying in the night. The faint-hearted would probably be scared to death. However, it was clear that Yunchujio was not a timid person. She took out a thick dried willow branch from her storage ring and threw it on the ground. The Wolf King did not know what Yunchujio meant to do and took a few steps back. Yunchujio waved her right hand and a purple lightning bolt struck the dried willow branch. The thick dried willow branch was instantly split into two and black smoke rose up. The silver wolf pack was in an uproar. Demonic beasts were instinctively afraid of heavenly lightning. On top of that, Yunchujio used a purple lightning bolt. The Wolf King howled a few times before the wolf pack quieted down. Its eyes flickered, obviously thinking of something. Yunchujio's mind was not idle either. She kept thinking of countermeasures. Although she could temporarily suppress these silver desert wolves, she was outnumbered. Once they rushed up to her, she would not be able to hold them off. Yunchujio observed for a moment. There were about a dozen silver desert wolves to the east. She caught them off guard. She could run away. However, her speed was too slow. If she did so, she would still be caught. It would be good if there was something that could hold them off. If she threw out the body of the single-horned demon lizard, she might be able to delay them. However, she really could not bear to do so. She had not dug out the demon core of the single-horned demon lizard yet. That was a lot of points. Moreover, the body of a Tier 8 demonic beast was also very expensive. Could be exchanged for a lot of spirit stones. She should have kept the bodies of the desert scorpions. In the future, one must learn from one's mistakes. One could not abandon anything at will. The rolling pin was on the verge of tears. This master was really willing to sacrifice her life and not her wealth. They were already in such a dire situation, yet she was still worried about some bullshit points. Yunchujio used her spiritual sense to rummage through her storage ring. Finally, she found the corpses of more than 10 low-level demon beasts in a corner. Those were the windblade rabbits that Yunchujio hunted in the mountains behind Spirit Radiance sect. They were supposed to be barbecued. Yunchujio immediately had an idea. She pointed at the sky. Look, an airship. Airship? The wolf pack subconsciously raised their heads to look at the sky. Yunchujio shot a bolt of lightning toward the silver wolves to her east. She did not strike the silver wolves with the lightning. Chapter 299. Yunchujio had a surgery. Yunchujio stretched her neck to take a look. She saw a slightly smaller silver wolf lying on the ground and twitching in pain. Its belly bulged. It was actually a pregnant female wolf. The Wolf King let out a few anxious howls and gently nudged the female wolf's head with its head. The Wolf King was so nervous. It seemed that the female wolf was the queen of the wolf pack. The female wolf still did not get better and kept howling. Yunchujio rolled her eyes. The Wolf King had no time to even care about her then. If she did not run, when would she be able to? Just when Yunchujio was about to run away, the Wolf King turned around and walked straight to Yunchujio. Yunchujio was stunned. What did he mean by that? Did he not care about his wife anymore? The Wolf King howled at Yunchujio and pointed at the twitching female wolf with his front paw. Yunchujio immediately understood what it meant. She pointed at the female wolf and said, "You mean you want me to help you save the female wolf?" Although the Wolf King did not understand Yunchujio's words, it still understood her body language and nodded. Oh heavens! She was not a veterinarian. How could she save it? The female wolf was probably having a difficult labor, right? Should she perform a cesarean section on it? Yunchujio was quite bold. She actually walked to the female wolf's side, squatted down and looked at it. Yunchujio took out the large kitchen knife from her storage ring, and then gestured at the female wolf's stomach. "Hey, I can only cut open her abdominals, take out the little wolf and then sew it back together. Do you agree?" The Wolf King had really figured Yunchujio's intentions. It hesitated for a moment and then nodded. If a demonic beast had difficulty giving birth, there was a high chance that both mother and son would die in the end. Now it could only trust this little human girl. Yunchujio took out a wind-edge rabbit's corpse from her storage ring. She took out its intestines and washed it clean to make a meat thread. Then she took out a needle and inserted the meat thread into the eye of the needle. Yunchujio took out a few spirit-gathering pills and stuffed them into the female wolf's mouth to prevent the female wolf from losing its strength. Then she fed the female wolf a few sleeping pills. After the female wolf fell asleep, she began to carry out the surgery with a large kitchen knife. Although Yunchujio had never done any surgery before, she was still very familiar with the structure of demon beasts because she used to roast many demon beasts. The Wolf King stared at Yunchujio without blinking. Could this little girl really do it? It had never heard of humans having such a method to deliver a baby. Perhaps their mystical realms were too closed off, and the new method that humans had developed might be able to do it. Yunchujio easily cut open the female wolf's belly and cut a small hole in the female wolf's uterus. She gently took out the cub inside and cut the umbilical cord. Yunchujio was afraid that the cub would freeze to death, so she made a quilt and wrapped the wolf cub in it. The Wolf King commanded a few female wolves to use their bodies to warm the wolf cub. Only then did Yunchujio start to sew the female wolf's wound with the meat thread. Yunchujio did not do any needlework at all, so the wound was crooked. Regardless, it was finally closed. Yunchujio shattered the supreme-grade blood-clotting pill and sprinkled it on the wound. As expected of the supreme-grade blood-clotting pill, the female wolf's wound began to visibly heal. The Wolf King's eyes began to glow green. Well, it was originally glowing green already. How can humans have such a miraculous pill? How can it stop the bleeding so quickly? After a while, the female wolf woke up. Having taken the spirit-gathering pill previously, it was still in a pretty good mental state. Yunchujio let out a long breath. The operation was considered a success. Yunchujio stood up and was about to leave when the Wolf King suddenly blocked her. But what did it mean? Could it be that this was going to be the story of the Wolf of Zhongsan? 1. Chapter 300. Mushroom Rings. The Wolf King held a few times. Yunchujio thought about it and finally understood what it meant. The Wolf King meant that it could escort her out of the desert, but it wanted the supreme-grade blood coagulation pills. Yunchujio bargained with the Wolf King and finally settled on 2 bottles of supreme-grade blood coagulation pills. The Wolf King chose 8 strong silver wolves to escort Yunchujio. She did not know what fear and shamelessness meant. After she left the Wolf King's sight, she would use a few supreme-grade blood coagulation pills as reward to get the silver wolves to take turns to be her mounts. She happily sat on the silver wolves' backs, humming a little tune as they traveled east. When a certain realm spirit saw this scene, it was so angry that it almost vomited blood. I asked you to eat Yunchujio, not escort her and be her bodyguards. You actually became her freaking mount. How can you wolves be so cheap? You threw away your honor just for a couple pills. The realm spirit's energy bounced around wildly, and in the end, a sinister smile appeared on its face. This little girl has many tricks up her sleeve. It seems that the demonic beasts can't deal with her, so it'll let her own kind deal with her. Humans are the most greedy and shameless, and during these so-called trials, they kill each other over a few spirit herbs. Yes, those few people who have a different attire from Yunchujio are vicious. They will do it. 2 days later, Yunchujio finally arrived at the edge of the desert under the escort of the 8 silver wolves. Yunchujio waved her small claws at the 8 silver wolves, then continued hopping and walking toward the east. There were some low shrubs growing sparsely at the edge of the desert. Occasionally she could see some low-level demon beasts. Yunchujio felt that from then on her trial path would return to normal. However, she still felt that something was fishy. Did they not say that the highest level demon beast in this mystical realm was tier 4? Why did she encounter a tier 8 single-horned demon lizard, and then a group of tier 5 silver desert wolves? Was it because she was unlucky or something? If she knew who was scheming behind her back, she would not let him off. A certain realm spirit sneezed twice and then continued scheming. After passing the edge of the desert, there was a vast grassland. Yunchujio looked at the green and was in a good mood. Suddenly, her eyes lit up and she ran toward a place. Mushroom ring. I'm so lucky. I can use it to stew the remaining red-feathered chicken in my storage ring. Mushroom rings, as the name implied, were mysterious rings on the prairie. When one approached them, they would discover that they were formed by many delicious mushrooms. Seeing the white and tender mushrooms, Yun Chujio was so hungry that her saliva flowed out. She picked them in no time and put them into her storage ring. Yun Chujio was not in a hurry to start a fire to cook. Instead, she hastily ate a few buns and continued on her journey. She did not plan to spend the night in the prairie. If she encountered a demon beast at night, there would be nothing to hide in the prairie, so she was a little uncertain. When the sun was about to set, Yun Chujio finally walked out of the grassland and entered a valley. Yun Chujio climbed to the top of a big tree and looked at the surrounding terrain. She was very satisfied. There were trees, flowers, gurgling streams and some low-level demon beasts. They set up camp here and did not go anywhere. She would just wait for the trial to end and be teleported out. Besides, with the single-horned demon lizard's demon core, she was most definitely guaranteed first place. Yun Chujio found a hidden cave. The most peculiar thing was that Yun Chujio found it behind the stone wall. It was probably created by the disciples from the previous trial. It was really a good place to plot against people. Chapter 301. Were these humans pigs? Yun Chujio tidied up a little and started making chicken stew with mushrooms. Soon the fragrance filled the entire cave. The silver dragon floated out from the rolling pin and the two foodies ate happily. After eating and drinking, Yun Chujio made the rolling pin stand guard at the entrance of the cave as she fell asleep. Master. Someone's coming. The rolling pin hopped into the cave. Yun Chujio quickly jumped up and put out the campfire with water. Then she took the rolling pin and hid in the dark cave. Yun Chujio took off the spirit-concealing ring and peeked out through the gap of the dark cave. Junior brother son, it seems that someone has made a campfire here. The person speaking was a male disciple of Heavenly Gate sect. Yun Chujio knew him. He was the Wang Dongliang who was defeated by Mo Zhua in the last arena match. Senior brother Wang, there are no other spiritual fluctuations here. The person from before must have left. Even if he didn't leave, he wouldn't dare to provoke us. With our strength alone, who would dare to provoke us? The person speaking was someone with a duck's voice. It was Sun Liang who was forced by Yun Chujio to write a confession. Zhang Xiong, quickly bring those three girls in. This place can be used as our bridal chamber. Sun Liang's face revealed a lewd expression as he laughed evilly. Another three people came in from behind. One of them had a hooked nose. It was Elder Zhang's grandson Zhang Xiong. The other two people also looked somewhat familiar. Back when they were competing at Spirit Radiance Sect, they had also been on the stage. The three of them each pushed a woman whose hands were tied with ropes as they walked in with a mischievous smile. The three women were Yun Chu, Yun Chuki and Su Yun. Yun Chujio clenched her teeth as she watched from behind. Now that the three of them were in their hands, she could not be impulsive. She had to think of a foolproof plan. These three girls are each more beautiful than the other. Let's play here for a few days first. When the time comes, we can go out and fight for some spiritual herbs to get points. Zhang Xiong said as he touched Su Yun's face with his hand. Su Yun's spiritual power must have been restrained. She had something stuffed in her mouth and was trying her best to dodge him. Bitch. I advise you to be sensible. Serve us well and maybe we will spare your lives. Otherwise, we'll kill you when we're done. Zhang Xiong pinched Su Yun's face. Zhang Xiong, why are you so anxious? Let's eat first and then we'll have a good time. Sun Liang asked Zhang Xiong and the others to tie their feet with ropes and push them to the corner of the wall. The five of them took out some dry food from their storage bags and began to eat dinner. While eating, they also said some lewd words. They did not notice that there were wisps of smoke coming out from the gap in the wall behind them. Yun Chu and the other two who were leaning against the wall fainted first. Then Zhang Xiong and the other three also began to feel that something was amiss. Hey, why do I feel lightheaded? Me, what's going on? Could it be that someone poisoned? Before the five of them could finish their words, they all fainted one after another. Yun Chujio walked out from behind the dark wall and fed each of the five of them a spirit-devouring powder. Then she took out a rope and tied them into a string. Only then did she start to feed the three women the antidote and loosen the rope. Fifth sister. Seventh sister. Senior sister Su. Wake up. Soon the three of them woke up. When they saw that it was Yun Chujio who saved them, they were all pleasantly surprised. Is there anything wrong with your bodies? The reason why Yun Chuju did not kill the 5 people immediately was that she was afraid that they fed Yun Chu and the others poison or something. Little Jiu were fine. They only fed us the spirit-devouring powder. Yun Chuju nodded. Then there was nothing to worry about. Yun Chuju walked in front of the 5 people, took out a large kitchen knife and hacked them to death one by one. Then she searched their storage bags and generously put their possessions into hers. When a certain realm spirit saw the scene, it cursed angrily, "Idiot! Idiot! Are these 5 humans pigs? How could they be hacked to death just like that? We'll do something else. I don't believe that Yun Chuju has such good luck." Chapter 302. I need to sleep. Although Yun Chu and the others were already used to Yun Chuji's ferocity, they were still a little shocked when she chopped off their heads like a carrot. Yes, little Jiu was indeed brave. Yun Chuju looked at the 5 corpses on the ground and muttered, "Sigh, I miscalculated. I should have dragged them outside and chopped them up there. The clean cave is now dirty. 5th sister, help me drag them inside." Yun Chuju ordered Yun Chu and the others to drag the 5 corpses into the secret room. Then she cleaned up the blood stains on the ground and asked, "How did you get caught by them?" Yun Chuki gnashed her teeth and said, "This morning when we were collecting purple hawk grass, we met these 5 people. We originally planned to crush the jade tokens, but we did not expect the Bai siblings and Yun Chushan to rush over. They said that we're all from Spirit Radiance sect, so we have to be unanimous at a time like this and face outsiders together. It was 6 against 5, so we weren't afraid of them. Moreover, the Bai siblings' spiritual power is very high. We didn't expect that the 3 of them would actually help those 5 people to restrain us while fighting. We didn't even have the chance to crush the jade tokens." Yun Chuju sighed. "What did I tell you? You can't let your guard down. You'll learn your lesson this time, won't you?" Yun Chu and Yun Chuki hung their heads in shame and did not say a word. If they had not met little Jiu, they would definitely have lost their lives. "Senior Sister Su, please keep what happened today a secret to prevent the Heavenly Gates sect from taking revenge." Yun Chuju looked at Su Yun by the side and thought to herself, "Senior Sister Su has already been implicated twice by us. Could be fate." Su Yun nodded. She was grateful for Yun Chuji's life-saving grace, and she was also shocked by Yun Chuji's valiant behavior, so she naturally would not raise any objections. "Let's make do here for the night and we'll discuss the next step tomorrow." Yun Chuju yawned and said, "Little Jiu, go ahead and sleep. He'll be on night duty." After this matter, Yun Chuki's actions became more steady. "All right, the 3 of you take turns to be on night duty. I won't participate. After all, I'm still young. I have to ensure that I sleep and grow well." Yun Chuju said shamelessly. Yun Chu and the other 2 were speechless. At the same time, Elder Zhang, the leader of the Heavenly Gates sect, cried out miserably outside the array formation. "Little Xiong, who killed my grandson?" The other elders of Heavenly Gates immediately surrounded him. "Elder Zhang, what's wrong?" Elder Zhang took out a broken jade token and said with tears flowing down his face, "Little Xiong's jade token was broken. My grandson was killed." Everyone comforted him. Every time a disciple died in a trial, there was nothing they could do about it. Chapter 303. Lying through her teeth. "You guys didn't die?" Bai Moru cried out in surprise. Bai Moyu glared at Bai Moru and he hurriedly added, "What Moru means is that it's great that you guys are fine. They have the advantage in numbers. When we saw that you guys were taken away, we were really helpless. Now that we've gathered all of our senior and junior brothers, we were going to save you guys." The few Spirit Radiance sect disciples behind him chimed in, "That's right. Senior Brother Bai told us that you were all taken away by the people from Heavenly Gates sect and we're going to save all of you." When Yun Chu and the other 2 heard Bai Moyu altering the truth, they were so angry that their faces turned red. "Bai Moyu, you're spouting nonsense. It's clear that the 3 of you colluded with the people of Heavenly Gates sect." Bai Moya's face was filled with shock. "Junior sisters, although we may have some personal grudges in the past, we are all disciples of Spirit Radiance sect. How could we do such a terrible thing? Junior sisters, you can't malign us just because we weren't able to save you back then because of our limited abilities." Yun Chushan also said softly from the side, "That's right. The 5 individuals from Heavenly Gates sect had superb spiritual power, and we really had no choice. We're also very sympathetic to your suffering. After all, as women, after encountering such a thing, it's indeed, slap, slap. Before Yun Chushan could finish her words, Yun Chujio slapped her twice. Yun Chushan was stunned by the slap. She never expected that Yun Chujio would slap her without a word. Yun Chushan, shut your stinky mouth. You want to know what happened? Truthfully, those 5 people encountered a demonic beast horde and were already doomed. Bai Moya's eyes flashed. They encountered a group of demonic beasts? How are you all fine? Yun Chujio sneered. Hearing what you said, are you regretful that we didn't die? The 5 of them discovered a high-grade bright lotus plant and made my third sister and the others fight for that bright lotus plant. I took this opportunity to save them. It's really a case of karma. They didn't expect that the bright lotus plant would be guarded by a group of 5-ringed silver-horned snakes. When we left, they were already surrounded by that group of 5-ringed silver-horned snakes. Although Yun Chu and the other 2 did not have any expression on their faces, they were dumbfounded in their hearts. Little Joe, how on earth did you train your ability to lie through your teeth? You speak of fictional things as if they're real. If we weren't personally witnessing it, we would have believed you. Moreover, these words could be used to advance or retreat when needed. Even if the 5 corpses were discovered, they could still justify themselves. After all, when they left, those 5 people were not dead yet. Anything could have happened after. Bai Moyu and the others saw that Yun Chujio and the others' expressions were very natural, and what they said was reasonable. After all, the temptation of high-grade earth-rank spirit medicines was too great. If it were them, they would also go and pick them at all cost. Yun Chujio originally wanted to find an opportunity to kill the Bai siblings and Yun Chushan, but now that the other disciples of Spirit Radiant sect were there, it was not easy to do so. Therefore, Yun Chujio planned to bring Yun Chu and the others away. Bai Moya's eyes flickered a few times. Junior sisters, why don't you follow us? There's strength in numbers. Even if we meet people from Heavenly Gate sect, we aren't afraid. Although Bai Moyu said so, he felt that Yun Chujio and the others definitely would not agree. Unexpectedly, Yun Chujio said with a clear voice, all right. Let's go together. Yun Chujio thought to herself, since we can't find 4th brother and the others for the time being, why don't we follow Bai siblings and the others? At least we can prevent them from framing 4th brother and the others. Chapter 304. Yun Chujio must stay. Although Yun Chu and the others did not know what Yun Chujio meant, they were already used to going with Yun Chujio's arrangements, so they did not say anything. Bai Moya's eyes flashed with a hint of viciousness. It's great that you're all throwing your lives away. In the next few days, Yun Chujio and the others trained with the Bai siblings. However, Yun Chujio's actions angered the Bai siblings. Every time a demonic beast came, Yun Chujio would retreat far away and cheer them on. Good fight. Put in more effort. I have high hopes for you. Bai Moru. You two have the highest spiritual power. Hurry up and attack. Why aren't you exerting your strength? Are you not willing to let us benefit from your prestige? Bai Moru angrily shouted. Yun Chujio, why aren't you attacking? Yun Chujio said with a matter-of-factly, because my spiritual power is the lowest and I'm the youngest. You guys are so powerful. Shouldn't you take care of a young seedling like me? Besides, I don't share your spoils of war. What are you unhappy about? You. Bai Moru almost choked. Yun Chujio kept her word. She really did not want any spoils of war. It was as if she was just watching the scenery with them. The others did not have any thoughts seeing Yun Chujio acting like that. After all, she was only at the 4th level of spirit enhancement. Even if she participated in the battle, she would not be of much help. They were so happy that they did not have to share anything. That day they found a piece of black category low-grade jade bellflower, and they were extremely excited. Oh my god. There are more than 100 of them. Our points will increase significantly. That's right. Our luck is really great. This is a black category low-grade spirit herb. Today's harvest is equivalent to a few days' harvest. What made them even more ecstatic was that that piece of jade bellflower did not even have a single demonic beast guarding it. Their luck was simply superb. The group had just picked a few jade bellflowers when they heard a sneer. Stop. These jade bellflowers belong to Heavenly Gate sect. If you don't want to die, get lost. The people from Spirit Radiance sect raised their heads and saw more than a dozen Heavenly Gate sect disciples. They were clustered around a beautiful woman. It was Su Yenran. Su Yenran glared at Yun Chujio viciously and then inadvertently exchanged looks with the Bai siblings. The one who spoke was a male disciple of the Heavenly Gates sect. His attitude was extremely arrogant. "Didn't you hear what I just said? Quickly leave. Otherwise it'll take your little lives." The disciples of Spirit Radiance sect immediately became indignant. "Are you being reasonable? We were the ones who discovered these jade bellflowers first." "Reasonable? We only care about brawn. Why don't we spar? With our junior sister Su here, all of you will die," the disciple of Heavenly Gate sect said proudly. Along the way they had robbed many disciples from Spirit Radiance sect. They were practically invincible. Bai Moyu seemed to be in a difficult position. He thought for a moment and said, "Everyone, although these jade bellflowers are hard to come by, we don't stand to lose much. There might be high-grade spirit herbs ahead. Let's go." Although the other disciples of Spirit Radiance sect were unwilling, the Bai siblings had the highest spiritual power, so they could only obey. Just as the disciples were about to leave, Su Yenran said, "You can leave, but leave Yun Chujio behind. I want to resolve some personal grudges with her." Bai Moyu's eyes flashed and he said in a difficult manner, "Cousin Yenran, can you let Yun Chujio go this time on account of your brother?" Su Yenran sneered, "Cousin, we belong to two different sects, so don't try to build a relationship like in the secular world anymore. Yun Chujio must stay. Otherwise all of you will die." Bai Moyu pretended to be troubled, turned around and asked the people of Spirit Radiance sect, "Everyone, although this decision is very difficult, the bigger picture is more important. Let's go." Chapter 305. If you step out of the ring you lose. Yun Chu sneered, "If you want to leave you can leave. We won't give up on little Jio." Yun Chuki and Su Yun also stood in front of Yun Chujio, protecting Yun Chujio behind them. The other disciples of Spirit Radiance sect looked at Bai Moyu and then at Yun Chujio, feeling a little conflicted. Su Yanran's spiritual power was superb, and they were indeed no match for her. However, they would not be able to live with their conscience if they disregarded the lives of their fellow disciples. Seeing their hesitation, Bai Moyu's eyes flashed as he said, "Everyone, I understand your feelings, but even if we fight head-on, it'll only cost us our lives. It won't be of much use. Since that's the case, why strike a stone with an egg? One?" Bai Moru was somewhat impatient and said with a sullen face, "Forget it if you don't want to leave. Brother, let's go." When the people of Spirit Radiance sect saw that the Bai siblings and Yun Chushan had left, they felt a little scared. The three strongest people had already left. If they stayed here, would they not be waiting for death? Yun Chujio looked at them and said faintly, "Senior brothers, you can leave. I won't blame you. After all, we're not relatives. We're just fellow disciples. Last time I offended Su Yenran for the sake our Spirit Radiance sect's honor. Consider this as something I deserve. Fifth sister, you guys should leave too. Let me die in the hands of Heavenly Gate sect. For the sake of our Spirit Radiance sect, I'll die without regrets." When the disciples heard those words, they could not help but blush with shame. That was right. Why did Su Yenran want to kill Yun Chujio? Was it not because Yun Chujio defeated her in the competition previously? Why did Yun Chujio want to? She wanted to protect Spirit Radiance sect's honor. They actually wanted to escape at the last minute and hand over the lives of their fellow disciples to the Heavenly Gate sect. Were they even worthy of being members of Spirit Radiance sect? They were simply not human. Junior sister little Jio were not leaving. At most we'll die together. 20 years later we'd still be the good guys. Right. We're not leaving. Even if we die, we'll drag someone down with us. What's so great about Heavenly Gate sect? Damn it. It's still not certain who will win or lose in the end. Bai Moyu, who had walked some distance, could not help but frown. However, now that things had come to this point, there was no way to end it, so he could only continue walking forward. In any case, these people would die in the end and the sect would not be able to trace it back to them. Seeing that the disciples of Spirit Radiance sect were naturally good people, Yun Chujio decided to put away her tricks. Yun Chujio motioned for everyone to stand back and then looked at Su Yenran a few times. "Su Yenran, you forgot something very important. You can't kill us. We just need to crush the jade token and we'll be out of this mystic realm." Su Yenran was stunned. That was right. How did she forget about that? The disciples of Spirit Radiance sect all slapped their thighs. That's right, they did not need to die at all. They had all been led astray by Moyu. They would be fine once they crushed the jade token. How stupid. Su Yenran, I know that you feel very indignant about losing to me last time. How about this? I'm the kindest person. I'll give you a chance. Let's have another competition. If I lose, I promise that I'll never use the teleportation jade token. If you lose, you'll immediately take your people and leave. Also, you're not allowed to cause trouble for us in this mystic realm. Whoever breaks the oath will be struck by lightning. Do you dare to agree? Besides, I'd already crushed my jade token. I wouldn't be able to use it even if I wanted to. Su Yenran thought that as long as Yun Chujio did not use the teleportation jade token, she would have the confidence to kill her. Hence she sneered, all right. I agree. Let's do it. Ah, your personality is really too impetuous. No wonder you can't beat me. I haven't said the rules yet. Let's draw a circle. Whoever comes out of the circle first will lose. How about it? If you agree, we'll take an oath. Su Yenran snorted coldly and swore. Yun Chujio, who was at the side, also made a decent vow. Then she took out a rolling pin and drew a circle with a diameter of about 30 feet. Yun Chujio and Su Yenran entered the circle. Yun Chujio was happy. Come on. Let's begin. Come and beat me to your heart's content. The people of Spirit Radiance sect could not bear to look at her. Junior sister Little Gio, are you stupid? Who asks for a beating themselves? Chapter 306. Just playing with you. Su Yenran looked at Yun Chujio suspiciously. This bitch has many bad ideas. Did she prepare some chili noodles again? You can only use that insidious trick once. If you use it again, I'll use my spiritual power to put up a spiritual shield. You can't hurt me. Come on, be happy. There's a lot of time anyway. Yun Chujio hummed a little tune and signaled Su Yenran to come hither. Su Yenran was livid and slapped Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio did not even dodge. She just stood there calmly and continued humming a tune. Yun Chu and the others were so scared that they closed their eyes. It was over. Su Yenran's cultivation was at the peak of the 8th level of the spirit enhancement realm. This slap would definitely kill Yun Chujio. But why did they not hear Yun Chujio scream? Everyone opened their eyes and saw that Yun Chujio was still standing there with a smile on her face. On the other hand, Su Yenran had a dumbfounded look on her face. Why, you have a defensive spirit tool on you? Yun Chujio shrugged her shoulders. Yes, there's nothing I can do. I'm too weak. Our sect leader gave me dozens of defensive spirit tools to protect myself. Go ahead and fight. I reckon that you won't be able to hit me even if we fight until tomorrow morning. When the time comes, I'll just kick you out of the circle. Whether it was the people from Spirit Radiance sect or those from Heavenly Gate sect, they all had blank expressions. Dozens of defensive spirit tools? Yun Chujio, are you kidding us? Not to mention you're an unimportant servant. Even the sect elders don't have that many, okay? Su Yenran gritted her teeth in anger. You're spouting nonsense. I'm going to beat you to death today. Yun Chujio spread her hands. You don't believe me? Then hit me. I'll sit down and rest. After saying that, Yun Chujio really sat down on the ground and took out a spiritual fruit and started eating it. Su Yenran was so angry that her head was about to smoke. She hit Yun Chujio more than 10 times in a row. Unfortunately, these attacks were all blocked by an invisible spiritual barrier when they were 1 foot away from Yun Chujio. Su Yenran refused to believe it and continued to wave her palms. Yun Chujio suddenly smiled at Su Yenran and said in a crisp voice, Su Yenran, I'm going to use hidden weapons. Be careful. Su Yenran was afraid that Yun Chujio would use the chili again, so she quickly raised her spiritual shield. She did not expect Yun Chujio to smile evilly before saying, I'm just playing with you. You're so gullible. Su Yenran was so angry that she kept twitching. She removed her spiritual shield and tried to hit Yun Chujio again. Unexpectedly, Yun Chujio raised her hand again. Su Yenran, I really used a hidden weapon this time. Su Yenran quickly raised her spiritual shield again. Then she heard Yun Chujio giggle. You idiot. I was just teasing you. After doing this a few times, Su Yenran was about to explode with anger. Hence, when Yun Chujio said she would use a hidden weapon again, she did not dodge at all. Instead she raised her hand and attacked Yun Chujio. Unexpectedly Yun Chujio was serious this time. He threw a big sack at Su Yenran. Su Yenran wanted to use her spiritual energy shield, but it was too late, so she quickly turned to the side. Before Su Yenran could react, Yun Chujio threw a few big sacks at her. Su Yenran was afraid that there were chili inside, so she did not dare to hit them and could only dodge. "Ha! You're out of the ring. You lost." Yun Chujio clapped her hands and said with a smile. Su Yenran looked down. She was so focused on avoiding those sacks that she was indeed out of the ring. "Why, you cheated." Su Yenran could not accept the fact that she had lost again. "There's no such thing as cheating in war, do you understand? Cut the crap and leave quickly. We still have to pick the jade bell flowers. We don't have the time to deal with you." Yun Chujio put the sacks on the ground into her storage ring. The items inside precious and could not be discovered by others. Su Yanran's beautiful face contorted with anger, and she was bleeding from her fingernails. However, cultivators valued oaths very much. If they broke an oaths, not only would they be punished by the heavens, they would also form inner demons. Therefore, although they were unwilling, they could only leave with the people of the Tian sect in anger. A certain realm's spiritual energy crashed into the wall. Trash. Trash. How could there be such a huge difference in intelligence between people who lived on the same continent? Are you all pig-brained? Just kill them immediately. You still want to make a bet out of it? Can that pig brain of yours beat a little weird like Yun Chujio? Looks like the realm spirit would have to personally make a move. Chapter 307. Little Gio was still inside. Junior sister Little Gio, you're really great at the art of deception. The people of the Heavenly Gate sect have suffered a loss. Junior sister Little Gio, you're really too smart. Junior sister Little Gio, don't tell me that your sack is filled with chili noodles? Yun Chujio waved her little claws. It's a small matter not worth mentioning. Everyone hurry up and pick these jade bell flowers, lest others take advantage of them. Everyone felt that it made sense and quickly picked the jade bell flowers. Yun Chujio claimed that she was on sentry duty, but in reality she was standing idly by the side. Suddenly the sky began to darken. A huge pressure descended on the entire trial mystic realm. Many disciples could not help but kneel on the ground. Some even began to pant. Yun Chujio's scalp was slightly numb. She quickly shouted to the people behind her, "Things are changing. Hurry up and crush the jade tokens to get out." The people did not dare to delay. They crushed the jade token and disappeared on the spot. "Little Gio, don't just stand there. Quickly take out the jade token," Yun Chu quickly said when she saw that Yun Chujio did not move. Yun Chujio smiled bitterly in her heart. She wanted to crush it, but her jade token was a fucking defective product. Yun Chujio did not tell the truth. If she did, Yun Chu and Yun Chuki definitely would not go out. Thus she said, "You guys go first. I'll join you at the end." Yun Chu and Yun Chuki were used to following Yun Chujio's orders. After hearing her words, they crushed their jade tokens and disappeared. Sigh. They're all gone. I don't know if I can use this jade token from Heavenly Gate sect. Let me try. Yun Chujio took out a jade token that she had found on Zhang Xiong and the others. After crushing it, there was no reaction. Sigh, I knew it. This jade token is connected to spiritual sense. It's useless to use someone else's. Although Yun Chujio had already expected that, she was still a little disappointed. I want to see what kind of tricks this mystic realm is playing. Yun Chujio simply sat cross-legged on the ground and began to cultivate. The pressure in the mystic realm grew stronger and stronger. Other than Yun Chujio, the trial disciples had all crushed their jade tokens and were teleported out of the mystic realm. Outside the mystic realm, the elders of Spirit Radiance sect and Heavenly Gate sect did not pay much attention to it at first. They thought that the disciples that were teleported out had encountered some kind of demonic beast. However, as more and more people came out, they felt that something was amiss. After the elders interrogated them, they finally understood that something had happened inside the mystic realm. Therefore, they began to count the number of people. Both Spirit Radiance sect and Heavenly Gate sect had lost more than 10 people, which was normal. Disciples would perish in every trial. However, why did the ancient mystic realm suddenly underwent a change? Elder Xiao, Elder Chu, Little Gio hasn't come out yet. Little Gio is still inside. Yun Chu said with a sobbing voice. After Yunchu and the others came out, they waited for a long time but still didn't see Yunchujio come out. They immediately panicked. Elder Shao and Elder Chu looked at each other and their hearts moved. Could it be that Yunchujio caused the change in the mystic realm? Elder Zhang of Heavenly Gates sect had lost his grandson, so he was not in the mood to keep track of the results. Instead he kept finding people to interrogate about Zhang Xiong. Bai Moya's eyes flickered. Yunchujio had most likely died in the mystic realm. Otherwise he could pin Zhang Xiong's death on Yunchujio through Yanran's cousin's mouth. She was lucky to have died in the mystic realm. Su Yanran also heard that Yunchujio did not come out, and she could not help but smile coldly. Good that she was dead. Yunchujio, didn't you boast that you were smart? Yet you died in the mystic realm. Chapter 308. The realm spirit that was dumber than a pig. Since this was an unexpected situation, both sects were caught unprepared. However, they decided to wait and observe. The Heavenly Gates sect decided to see if they could find any clues because Elder Zhang had not found out the cause of Zhang Xiong's death. Spirit Radiance sect was naturally doing this for Yunchujio. She was a rare Heavenly Thunder Root spirit. Most importantly, regardless of whether anyone admitted it or not, Yunchujio was Patriarch Linghua's personal disciple. Nothing must happen to her. However, Elder Shao and Elder Chu had an inexplicable feeling that Yunchujio would not die. After all, she was a little weird who could not be killed even after 10 hours of heavenly lightning strikes. How could she die so easily? After a certain realm spirit forced all the disciples in the trial to leave, it secretly withdrew its pressure. If this continued, the low-level demon beasts in the mystic realm would probably choke on their farts too. The realm spirit thought of several ways to harm Yunchujio, and in the end, it chose a plan that it was the most confident in. Yes, it decided to use heavenly lightning to strike Yunchujio to death. Although you have the heavenly lightning root spirit, a person's veins and dantian contain a limited amount of lightning power. The power of lightning is the most brutal. This realm spirit will make you explode and die. I'm really too smart. Yunchujio noticed a thick and heavy dark cloud floating above her head. She smiled and said, "Yo, this mystic realm can even produce lightning? Interesting. Time to feed my grass." A certain realm spirit continuously directed the lightning elements in the mystic realm to gather together to form a purple lightning tribulation. Strike, strike, strike Yunchujio to death. Boom, boom. The sound of huge lightning strikes could be heard continuously. A certain realm spirit smiled smugly. "Little fellow, even if you have a heavenly lightning root spirit, you can't withstand so many bolts of tribulation lightning. I'll hack you to death. You can't use conventional method to deal with a little weirdo like her. You have to be rough." This realm spirit was smarter. Much better than those pig brains for sure. A certain realm spirit smiled smugly for a while and then was dumbfounded. This is impossible. Why is nothing happening to Yunchujio? She's still happily munching on a fruit. Also, why did my thunder element disappear? Sob sob. If there's no thunder element in the mystic realm, how can I intimidate those high-level demon beasts? The realm spirit was dumbfounded for a while and then it finally turned its head around. Could it be that the thunder element had been swallowed by Yunchujio? That was not right. If she had absorbed all the lightning energy, then she should have been blown up a long time ago. Why was she still alive and kicking? The realm spirit looked like it had nothing to live for. What should it do? Without the lightning element, the prestige of my realm spirit would be greatly reduced. It thought for a long time and decided to give Yunchujio a chance to fight back. "Hey, Yunchujio. You're a little pervert that the heavens can't tolerate. Give me back the power of lightning that you have swallowed and I'll let you out." Yunchujio chewed on the fruit and curled her lips. "What the hell is this? Come out and speak." The realm spirit was hopping around. "I'm not a thing." Yunchujio nodded. "Yes, what you said makes sense. You are indeed not a thing." "Yunchujio. I am a realm spirit. Aren't you afraid that I'll kill you if you offend me?" The realm spirit realized that she had challenged it. It was so angry. This Yunchujio was really too detestable. "Haven't you already started to harm me? My jade token was faulty. The place where I was randomly teleported to had thousands of desert scorpions, a tier 8 single-horned devil lizard, and a group of tier 5 silver desert wolves. Alright, and the lightning strike just now. Just keep attacking. I'll wait for you." Yun Chujio had already figured everything out the moment the realm spirit spoke. The realm spirit coughed dryly, feeling guilty. Who told you to have the heavenly thunder root spirit that the heavens doesn't allow? I was just following the heavens. You can't blame me. I even showed you mercy. Otherwise, I would have directly teleported you into the cactus thorn. Oh, is that so? I thought there were some rules or restrictions or something. Yun Chujio said indifferently. The realm spirit almost fell to the ground. Fuck, this Yun Chujio was simply not human. How did she know? How did you know? Yun Chujio said vaguely as she chewed on the fruit. It's a bluff. I didn't expect you to be so stupid to admit it. You're even dumber than a pig. Oh no. If I said that, it would be too insulting to a pig. Chapter 309. Furry Ball. A certain realm spirit was so angry that it jumped in front of Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio. Hurry up and apologize to me. Otherwise I'll kill you. Yun Chujio looked at the little thing that was jumping in front of her and almost laughed until she passed out. What the hell was that? It was a furry ball with short limbs jumping up and down as it walked. Did this furry ball become a spirit? Oh, it was a black ball of yarn. Stop laughing. If you laugh at me again, I'll get angry. The ball of yarn roared. Yun Chujio tried hard to hold back her laughter. She poked the ball of yarn with her hand. Hey, it feels pretty nice. The ball of yarn immediately shrank its hands and feet into the ball. Its black fur strangely turned light pink. Stop. You pervert. How dare you tease me? Yun Chujio's eyes lit up. Oh my. You can change colors? Interesting. Yun Chujio stretched out her claws again and kept poking. The ball of yarn turned from a light pink color to a bright red color like blood. Print. Then it began to wail loudly. Wah. You're bullying me. No one would do that. Not only did you swallow my thunder element, you even teased me. I'm not going to live anymore. Yun Chujio touched her nose. Didn't I just poke it a few times? Is there a need for that? This realm spirit should be a good one, right? Why did it wail at the slightest disagreement? It did not matter that the furry was crying. It started to rain in the mystical realm. At first it was drizzling, but later, it became a torrential downpour. All right. Don't cry anymore. You're smarter than a pig. Wah. Furry cried even harder, rolling on the ground as it did. Yun Chujio touched her forehead. All right. I won't tease you anymore. Furry was still unwilling to let it go and continued to roll on the ground. Are you done yet? Get lost and cry far away. Yun Chujio was furious. She kicked Furry. Boosh. The ball of yarn was kicked hundreds of feet away. It got up and angrily pointed at Yun Chujio. You vicious woman. How dare you kick me? I'll fight you to the death. The ball of yarn headed toward Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio took out a rolling pin and hit the ball of yarn. I told you to harm me. I told you to be smug. I told you to scold me. I told you to get lost. I told you to make a scene. Bang, bang, bang. The ball of yarn was beaten into a blanket. The ball of yarn collapsed on the ground. It was truly regretful. Why did I have to provoke this scourge? I was looking for a beating. Wouldn't a normal person ingratiate themselves with me when they hear that I'm a realm spirit? Why did this little weirdo not only dare to laugh at me but also hit me? She isn't human. She's a pervert. She's a scourge. Furry felt that it had nothing left to live for. For a realm spirit to experience what it experienced, it could be said that it had lost all its honor. Yun Chujio looked at a realm spirit who was motionless and her eyes flashed. She sighed and said, Furry, I was so angry that I accidentally hit you. I'm really sorry. What? Furry could not believe its ears. Has the little witch changed her personality? She actually apologized to me? Furry, I'm not targeting you. I'm targeting that. Yun Chujio secretly pointed at the top. Didn't you listen to its instructions and set me up? At most, you're an accomplice. Moreover, you're also a victim. We share the same fate. What do you mean? I'm a victim too? Are you kidding me? How can I be a victim? I'm in a good place. Chapter 310. You will definitely be cheated. Yun Chujio quickly covered her mouth. Blinking her eyes, she said, "Ah, I spilled the beans. Just pretend that I didn't say anything. You're really good at being a spiritual cultivator. You're really not a victim, I'm just talking nonsense. Don't overthink it. Please don't overthink it." With Yun Chujio saying that, it would be strange if Furry did not overthink. "Yun Chujio, you must be hiding something from me. Tell me quickly." Furry looked at Yun Chujio nervously. Yun Chujio frowned. "It's really nothing. You're overthinking. Tell me quickly. Otherwise I'll cry again." Furry felt that it was shameless. Other than crying, it had no other way to deal with this little weirdo Yun Chujio. Sigh. "Alright. Then I'll tell you my little opinion. You don't have to take it to heart. Just treat it as if I am talking nonsense." Yun Chujio sighed and said helplessly, Tell me. Tell me." Furry widened its eyes and was extremely nervous. "In this mystical realm, all the demon beasts listen to your command. If you say it will rain, then it will rain. If you say it will thunder, then it will thunder. Don't you think it's awesome to be in charge of this mystical realm?" Yun Chujio asked with a smile. Fui's body suddenly swelled up, clearly very proud. "Furry, you're actually very pitiful. Look, this mystic realm is now used by the low-level disciples of the 4 great sects for the trial, right? When they bring that mirror fragment and shine it on you, you have to open the door for them. When they come in, they're killing your demonic beasts and picking your spiritual herbs. You can't even do a thing about it. Don't you think that you're like a watchdog? Also, your realm spirit might look impressive, but you don't have any real abilities. Even after another 10,000 years, you'll still be like this. Perhaps some mighty figure may not like this mystic realm and will destroy it. Then you'll be dead. You've been trapped in this small world for your entire life. It's really sad and lamentable. Sigh, the outside world is full of exciting things, but you're like a frog sitting in a well, enjoying the golden cage that others have made for you. What a pitiful person." Yun Chujio saw Fui's stunned expression. She continued, "Furry, I'm a soft-hearted person. I'll say whatever comes to my mind. Don't take it to heart. Actually, you're doing pretty well now. A country bumpkin waiting to die is also not bad. Just pretend that I didn't say anything." Furry felt that its worldview had suffered a paradigm shift. Why did it feel that what Yun Chujio said made sense? That's right, I'm no different from a watchdog. I had to change. The world was so big. I had to go out and take a look. Furry used its 2 short claws to hug Yun Chujio's calf. "Benefactor, what you said makes sense. Please help me. How can I get out of this situation?" The rolling pin looked at Furry sympathetically. "Unlucky fellow. You unlucky fellow. You're just repeating my mistake. My master doesn't have good intentions. You will definitely be cheated." Yun Chujio looked at Furry and let out a long sigh. Sigh. "My biggest weakness is that I'm too kind. Too soft-hearted. Although we have a grudge, you're so cute. I really can't bear to let you suffer like this. Let me think of a way." Furry was so touched that she cried, "Benefactor. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I deeply regret my previous actions. As long as you help me, I'll definitely make it up to you." Chapter 313. Yun Chujio came out. Elder Shao was a straightforward person. When he heard Elder Zhang's words, he felt a little embarrassed. He actually had 2 million points less than the other party. It was really too embarrassing. There was an outstanding person from the Heavenly Gates sect, Su Yenran. The new disciples from the Spirit Radiance sect really could not compare to her. Su Yenran alone had obtained nearly 1 million points. Elder Chu was much more thick-skinned. He laughed out loud. "Elder Zhang, this trial isn't over yet, right? Perhaps there will be more disciples from Spirit Radiance sect coming out." Elder Zhang laughed coldly. "Elder Chu, are you dreaming? It was impossible for anyone to come out alive. Even if there were disciples coming out, would they be able to obtain 2 million points? No matter how powerful he is, would he be able to surpass Su Yenran? Su Yenran obtained 970,000 points. I won't argue with you verbally. Let us wait and see." Elder Chu rubbed his nose. "What do you know? We still have a little weirdo who hasn't come out yet. As soon as that consecutive little Geo Thunderbolts is released, the low-level demon beasts would immediately choke on their farts. Good. It hasn't even been a month yet anyway. I'd like to see which other remarkable disciples from your Spirit Radiance sect will come out alive. Elder Zhang curled his lips. The sect was at its wit's end now, and they actually used such a clumsy excuse to cover it up. As soon as Elder Zhang finished speaking, the ancient mystic realm began to tremble violently. A huge wave of air knocked over the nearby disciples, and everyone immediately fell into chaos. What's going on? An earthquake? Could it be that the mystic realm is about to collapse? That's too scary. No wonder the mystic realm was so suffocating earlier. Could it be that this mystic realm is about to self-destruct? Heavens! We should hurry and get further away. This is an ancient mystic realm. If it really is about to self-destruct, it will definitely blow us up till there isn't even any residue left. The two pieces of the great void mirror that were suspended in midair began to tremble violently. Elder Zhang rolled his eyes and retrieved the piece from the Heavenly Gate sect to prevent it from being damaged. Elder Shao and Elder Chu looked at each other. The two of them did not move. Yun Chujie was still in the mystic realm. If they kept the pieces of the great void mirror, Yun Chujie would not be able to come out. When Elder Zhang saw this, he could not help but mock and ridicule. What? Are you guys still harboring fantasies? There must be something wrong with the mystic realm. It might even collapse. Not to mention the disciples of Spirit Radiance sect, even the demonic beasts inside will all die. Impossible. Little Jiu will not die. Little Jiu will definitely come out. When Yun Chu and the others heard Elder Zhang's words, they did not care about their status and roared. Elder Zhang gave them a sinister look and then released his pressure on Yun Chu and the others. How could Yun Chu and the others' cultivation base withstand Elder Zhang's pressure? Their legs went weak and they almost knelt on the ground. Elder Chu raised his hand and neutralized Elder Zhang's pressure. He said unhappily, "What does this mean? They are just worried about their fellow disciples. Have provoked you?" Elder Zhang said coldly, "They're just servants of your sect and they were being disrespectful to me. I only gave them a small warning. Besides that, Yun Chujie is dead for sure. She's just a trash who plays tricks." Before Elder Zhang finished his words, an item popped out from the ancient mystery dimension. With a loud crash, it fell to the ground. Hiss. I've fallen to my death. See, everyone is here. Everything is fine, right? Everyone took a closer look and saw that it was a little girl who fell out. Her eyebrows were sharp and her two little tails behind her head were trembling. Who else could it be other than the treacherous Yun Chujie? Chapter 314. Was only 2 million short, little Geo. You're still alive. Sob sob, that's great. Yun Chu immediately hugged Yun Chujie in her arms. Yun Chujie was secretly cursing in her heart. Sigh, fifth sister's breasts have become even fuller. When will I be able to have boobs as well? How upsetting. Yun Chuki and Qing Si kept wiping their tears. Yun Chuzi and the others' eyes were also red. Although they had always believed that Yun Chujie would be fine, as time passed, the worry in their hearts gradually increased. They were almost on the verge of collapse. Little Geo was still alive. It was great. At that moment, a loud sound came from the ancient mystery dimension. Then space began to distort. What appeared in front of everyone was like ripples of water. In the end, it completely disappeared. The fragment of the great void mirror that was floating in midair fell to the ground with a thud. Before anyone could react, a small figure jumped over and picked up the fragment and put it into her storage ring. Yun Chujie, what are you doing? Elder Shao shouted darkly. Yun Chujie bared her little white teeth. Elder Shao, why are you so serious? I saw that all of you are busy, so I will help you keep it for the time being. Is it that big a deal? It's not like I can escape with it. Hurry up and say something serious. Can we go back to the sect now? I miss our dear and respectable sect master. Elder Shao recalled Yun Chujie's previous misdeeds, and for some reason he had an ominous premonition that the fragment of the great void mirror might not be coming back. However, Wooderchu's main focus was totally different. Yun Chujie, quickly take out the spirit herbs and demon cores you collected. We're now 2 million points lower than the Heavenly Gate sect. Spirit Radiance sect depends on you. Hearing Elder Chu's words, Elder Zhang laughed sinisterly. Elder Chu, do you really see this little girl as a savior? How many points can a mere servant at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement Realm obtain? I'm afraid even 1,000 would be difficult, let alone 2 million. The people from the Heavenly Gate sect also began to discuss in disdain. Spirit Radiance sect is going to lose this time for sure. How could that Yun Chujio possibly have 2 million points of spoils of war? That is simply a dream. That's right. I reckon that Elder Chu thought that there wouldn't be any living people coming out of the mystic realm, so he found such an excuse. I didn't expect that Yun Chujio would actually come out. If she can't catch up to our Heavenly Gate sect this time, that would really be a slap in the face. That makes sense. Junior Sister Sue is so amazing and peerless, yet she only obtained less than 1 million points. That trash Yun Chujio can obtain 2 million points? Maybe if the sun rises from the north. Su Yenran heard everyone's discussion, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly. Yun Chujio, so what if you have many evil schemes? Not only did Spirit Radiance sect lose to our sect, you will also never be able to catch up to me. The people from Spirit Radiance sect also felt that their hopes were slim. 2 million points. They had to kill 2,000 Tier 4 demonic beasts before they could do it. This was simply impossible. Yun Chujio did not move or say anything until the crowd's discussion gradually quieted down. Only then did she ask with a smile, Elder Chu, how many points are we lacking compared to the Heavenly Gate sect? Only 2 million. The crowd was so angry that they almost lost it. What do you mean by only 2 million? From your tone, 2 million seems to be a very small number. Elder Zhang looked at Yun Chujio with disdain. Little girl, it's 2 million, not 200. What an idiot who overestimates herself. Yun Chujio looked at him. Elder Zhang, right? If you talk like that, you'll lose friends. How can you tell that I'm an idiot? Isn't it just 2 million? What's so great about it? Watch carefully. It'll blind your snobbish eyes. Chapter 315. 10 million. Everyone's gaze was focused on Yun Chujio. Even though the people of Spirit Radiance sect felt that the chances were slim thinking of Yun Chujio's evil schemes, they thought that she might really have cheated a lot of good things off the land. Yun Chujio stretched out her small claws, and when everyone got a closer look, they almost lost it from anger. The thing they saw on Yun Chujio's palm was a freaking meat bun. Yun Chujio laughed dryly. I'm sorry. I took the wrong one. Yun Chujio stuffed the bun into her mouth and took a bite. I haven't eaten for a long time, so I'm a little hungry. Don't mind me. Everyone was dumbfounded. Yun Chujio, are you shameless? There are thousands of us waiting and you want us to watch you eat the bun. Yun Chujio finally finished eating the bun. She stretched out her small claws and a small water bottle appeared. She gulped down a few mouthfuls. Yun Chujio, you don't have to feign mystery anymore. It's useless for you to delay this any longer. Elder Zhang thought that Yun Chujio definitely would not be able to produce much spoils of war and that she was just stalling for time. That's right. Yun Chujio, stop resisting so stubbornly. Your sect is going to lose for sure. TSK bragging should be taxed. This Yun Chujio is definitely bragging. She's really shameless. That's right. If she can really take out something worth 2 million points, it'll crawl back to Heavenly Gate sect. The people of Spirit Radiance sect were also at a loss. Junior Sister Little Jio, can you do it or not? You usually have an array of tricks up your sleeve that never fails. This time, please don't let us down. Yun Chujio put away the bottle and said with a smile, sigh, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm afraid that if I take it out you'll be scared. So I gave you some time to relax. Since you're in such a hurry, then brace yourself. Yun Chujio stretched out her small claws and a bright red demonic beast inner core could be seen in her palm. Even though it was only a demonic beast inner core, the demonic beast pressure emitted from it was enough to make people tremble in fear. Everyone was silent at first. Then a disciple of Heavenly Gate sect said disdainfully, this demonic beast's inner core looks pretty good, but it's at most the inner core of a tier 4 demonic beast. That's only 1,000 points. That's right. It's only the inner core of a tier 4 demonic beast. Why are you afraid of scaring us? You're really shameless. Shut up. You're a disgrace. Elder Zhang roared angrily. The people of Heavenly Gate sect did not dare to say anything. What? Was that demon core very impressive? Haha. Elder Zhang, how is it? I've warned you, right? This is the inner core of a tier 8 demon beast, the single-horned demon lizard. Let me do some calculations for you. How many points is it worth? Chapter 317. Extremely angry Elder Zhang was so angry that his face twisted. However, Yun Chuju was hiding behind Elder Chu. She stretched out her claws and said, "Hurry up and transfer the 2 million spirit stones to me. My little heart has been hurt too badly by you. I must use the spirit stones to soothe it." The people of the Heavenly Gate sect wished they could capture Yun Chuju and give her a good beating. She was too infuriating. Did she just take advantage of us and still pretends to be good? How did we hurt your little heart? It was you who hurt our little heart, okay? Originally we were 2 million points ahead of your sect. 2 million. We thought that our Heavenly Gate sect would definitely win this time. It was you, this scourge, who woke us up from our sweet dream. The most profligate thing you did was that the moment your upper and lower lips touched, you somehow extorted 2 million spirit stones from us. Su Yenran never expected that the inner core of a tier 8 demonic beast was really obtained by Yun Chujiu in the mystic realm. She was both embarrassed and angry. Coupled with Elder Zhang's angry gaze, she wished that she could find a hole to hide in. Su Yenran, thank you. You're really my lucky star. Last time I obtained a scarlet dawn silk because of you. This time I obtained another 2 million spirit stones. If others didn't know better, they would definitely think that you're my long-lost biological sister. Yun Chujiu took the spirit stones, then smiled and winked at Su Yenran. Su Yenran rolled her eyes and fainted from anger. Yun Chujiu shrugged her shoulders and spread her hands. I was just talking. Why is she so agitated? Could it be that she really wants to be my sister? Smelly girl. You're courting death. Elder Zhang could not hold it in any longer. If he did not slap this Yun Chujiu to death that day, Heavenly Gate sect's honor would be completely disgraced. Yun Chujiu saw Elder Zhang fly into a rage. With a whoosh, she once again hid behind Elder Chu. Ah, the Heavenly Gate sect can't afford to lose. Heavenly Gate sect is acting like a scoundrel. It's only right for them to admit defeat. You guys actually became angry out of humiliation. What a shameless move. In order to be safe, Yun Chujiu simply hid behind the elders of Spirit Radiance sect and stuck out her little head, constantly provoking them. Elder Zhang's face was livid with anger. However, his attacks were all neutralized by Elder Chu and he could not get close to Yun Chujiu at all. Seeing that it was really inappropriate to continue causing trouble like this, Elder Zheng of Heavenly Gate sect walked forward to dissuade Elder Zhang. Elder Zhang, there's still time in the future. Since the mystic realm has already disappeared, let's return to the sect. Elder Zhang knew that he would not be able to do much that day, so he could only follow Elder Zheng's words and walk down the stairs. Before he left, he shot a sinister glance at Yun Chujiu, who was poking her head out. Darn girl, I won't let you off. Just as Elder Zhang was about to turn around and leave, Yun Chujiu shouted, Hey! You owe 1 million spirit stones to our sect. Are you trying to cheat us? Hurry up and pay up before you leave. Elder Chu slapped his thigh. That's right. I almost let you guys get away with it. Fortunately little Jiu is here. Hurry up and give me 1 million spirit stones. Our sect has won gracefully this time. 8 million points more than you guys. Ha! Elder Zhang almost spat out a mouthful of blood. He threw 1 million spirit stones and left with the people of the Heavenly Gate sect in a huff. When the people of Heavenly Gate sect came, they were full of confidence. They did not expect such a tragic ending. All of this was caused by that Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu, you are the public enemy of our Heavenly Gate sect. Yun Chujiu did not have the slightest awareness that she was their public enemy. Seeing that there was no more danger, she waved her claws at the back of the members of the Heavenly Gate sect. You guys should come to Spirit Radiance sect often to play with me. My 2 million spirit stones will be spent very soon. Remember to come and give me money often. Chapter 318. They want more little ancestors. The people of the Heavenly Gate sect staggered when they heard Yunchujio's words. It was too infuriating. Yunchujio, our Heavenly Gate sect is not done with you. Yunchujio sighed at the people of Spirit Radiance sect. Say, everyone, I've been worried to death for our sect. The Heavenly Gate sect must hate me to the bone this time. I'm doing this for our sect. If they gang up on me, you must help me. Everyone did not know what to say. You'd sound more sincere if you distributed the 2 million spirit stones you pocketed to everyone. However, after this incident, Yunchujio's image among these new disciples had completely changed. In the Azure Mystic Continent, the strong were respected. No matter how Yunchujio obtained that Tier 8 demonic beast in her core, it was she who won back Spirit Radiance sect's honor. Therefore, Yunchujio was the hero of Spirit Radiance sect. Yunchujio played with the treasures for a while. Then she giggled at the elders and said implicitly, "Elders, this time I'm number 1. You know it." The elders were stunned at first, then came to from the surprise counterattack just now. Heavens, they almost forgot about that. Not only did Yunchujio enter the top 10, but she also clinched the well-deserved first place. Did that not mean that they had to acknowledge her identity as Little Ancestor Yun? They were going to have another Little Ancestor. All the elders' faces immediately twitched. Even if they had thousands of reasons, it was still very sullen to let this young girl be their elder, okay? Therefore, on the way back to the sect, all the elders were unhappy and full of worries. The disciples of Spirit Radiance sect were originally laughing happily, but when they saw the elders, they did not dare to laugh loudly anymore. They were very puzzled. They had clearly won, so why were all the elders suddenly unhappy? It was really strange. After the airship arrived at the Spirit Radiance sect, these elders flew straight to the meeting hall as if they were being chased by wolves. Master Xianyuan had already received the news and led the elders to wait in the meeting hall. Elder Shao, Elder Chu, why are you back in less than a month? Did something happen? Master Xianyuan could not help but ask worriedly when he saw the gloomy expressions on the elders' faces. Elder Chu sighed. Something did happen. I don't know if the ancient mystic realm self-destructed or why it disappeared. What? How is this possible? The ancient mystery dimension has existed for tens of thousands of years. How could it disappear for no reason? Master Xianyuan and the others were shocked. Elder Chu curled his lips. Who knows? It just disappeared. That Heavenly Gate sect actually brought their new disciples to participate in the trial at the same time and even made a bet with us. Those who had less points will be considered to have lost. Master Xianyuan and everyone immediately understood. It seemed that Spirit Radiance sect's points were low, which was why Elder Chu and the others were so depressed. Master Xianyuan consoled. Victory and defeat are common occurrences in war. You don't have to mind it so much. So be it if you lose. Elder Chu's face was full of confusion. Lose? Who said our sect lost? We won. We even surpassed Heavenly Gate sect by 8 million points. This time it was Master Xianyuan and the others who were dumbfounded. 8 million points. What kind of joke was this? How was this possible? Elder Chu, could it be that you're joking? 8 million points. How is this possible? Master Xuanyuan's face darkened slightly. This Elder Chu was really too ridiculous. He's almost on par with that little girl Yunchujio. Elder Chu was also anxious. Who's joking? Yunchujio obtained a Tier 8 single-horned demon lizard's inner core in the mystic realm. She instantly obtained 10 million points. Master Xianyuan and the others were instantly petrified. Yunchujio, who was on the 4th level of spirit enhancement. She killed a Tier 8 demonic beast? Is it because we're inexperienced, or is this little girl too heaven-defying? This is too unbelievable. Chapter 319. I'm just too soft-hearted. Elder Chu saw the stupefied expressions on Master Xianyuan and the others' faces and instantly felt a lot more at ease. Speaking of which, they were also shocked back then. Sect Master, the crux of the matter now isn't that we won against the Heavenly Gate sect, but that Yunchujio is worthy of first place. Back then you promised her that if she were to rank within the top 10, you would acknowledge her as Little Ancestor Yun. Elder Chu saw that Master Xianyuan and the others had yet to react, so he quickly reminded them. Only then did everyone understand why Elder Chu and the others were still unhappy even after winning. That was right. Yun Chujio, that little girl, unexpectedly got first place, so they had to acknowledge her as little ancestor Yun. That was really depressing. That little girl was already smug to begin with. If she also had the little ancestor Yun identity, Spirit Radiance sect would be turned upside down by her. Master Xianyuan did not have much of a reaction. He said indifferently, since we've already discussed this, then we can only acknowledge Yun Chujio's identity as little ancestor Yun. Get Yun Chujio over here. Although the others were unwilling, they had nothing to say. Everyone thought to themselves, it would be great if Yun Chujio would voluntarily give up the identity of little ancestor Yun. However, that was pretty much impossible. That little girl was so capable of showing off. Why would she even let go of such an opportunity? After a short while, Yun Chujio came skipping over. She was so proud of herself that she even walked with her hands behind her back. Everyone's here? Not bad, not bad. You are indeed worthy of being taught. Yun Chujio nodded slightly at the crowd. Her demeanor was really great. The corners of everyone's eyes twitched. What did she say? It had not even been officially announced yet, and this girl was already starting to act like little ancestor Yun. Master Xianyuan had a high level of self-restraint. He smiled faintly and said, Yun Chujio, you've obtained first place in this new disciple trial. According to our agreement, from today onwards, you'll be Spirit Radiance Sect's little ancestor Yun. The 10th generation of the Spirit Radiance Sect Master, Master Xianyuan, pays his respects to little ancestor Yun. Master Xianyuan bowed respectfully to Yun Chujio. When the others saw that things had come to this, they could only bow respectfully to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio's mouth was opened so wide that it almost reached her cheeks. She lowered her hand slightly and said, Children, get up. Everyone almost spat out a mouthful of blood. When they thought of how much that scene would happen in the future, they instantly felt that they had nothing left to live for. Yun Chujio was amused to see their twitching expressions. Everyone was so angry that they were twitching. Her happiness was entirely based on their pain. It was too infuriating. Master Xianyuan looked calm and asked respectfully, Little ancestor Yun, which mountain do you want to live on in the future? After you choose, I can help you set up a new courtyard. Yun Chujio tried hard to hold back her laughter and blinked her eyes. Then she said, Little Xianyuan, I appreciate your kindness. However, after careful consideration, inconveniences will befall you kids if my identity is announced. Therefore, I've decided not to announce this news to the public for the time being. What? Could it be that there was something wrong with his ears? This little weirdo had actually become so understanding? Everyone looked at Yun Chujio in shock. They really could not believe what she just said. Master Xianyuan was also stunned. Yun Chujio, what do you mean? Yun Chujio said with a smile, As long as you acknowledge my identity, there's no need to announce it to the public. Other than you probably being requested by me often, you can just treat me as an ordinary disciple. How is it? Does this little ancestor have the demeanor of an elder? I'm doing this for your sake. My greatest strength is that I'm too soft-hearted. When everyone heard Yun Chujio's words, they were both surprised and delighted. This was simply too good. When they thought of bowing to this little girl in front of their disciples, it was simply too awkward. Little ancestor Yun is truly magnanimous. She is indeed worthy of being Patriarch Linghua's true disciple. That's right, little ancestor Yun has a heavenly thunder root spirit. She's naturally different from ordinary people. That's right. Little ancestor Yun's decision is really too wise. Master Xianyuan felt that with Yun Chujio's personality, she definitely would not be so simple. Could this little girl be up to no good again? Chapter 320. Making up for an injured old heart. Yun Chujio smiled at the crowd and nodded. You flatter me. You flatter me. As an elder, I naturally have the demeanor of an elder. Little Xianyuan, what do you think about following my instructions? Although Master Xianyuan was still uncertain, he still smiled and said, I'll follow little ancestor Yun's arrangements. I wonder what identity little ancestor Yun wishes to obtain temporarily? Yun Chujio giggled and said, I've already obtained first place, so I should at least be a successor disciple. Isn't that old man's son Bozhong in seclusion cultivation? Just put me under him. Alright, let's do as you say. Master Xianyuan thought to himself, It seems that the little girl has already planned it out. What exactly is she doing this for? Yun Chujio coughed dryly. Little Xinyuan, I've made such a big compromise. Let's consider that fragment of the Great Void Mirror as compensation for this little ancestor. Master Xinyuan was a little stunned. The fragment of the Void Mirror? Elder Shao said with a sullen face. Master, the fragment of the Void Mirror has already been snatched away by Yun Chujio, little ancestor Yun. Yun Chujio's face fell. Little boulder, I don't like what you're saying. What do you mean I snatched it away? I was just keeping it for you guys, alright? The situation was so chaotic back then. If it wasn't for my quick reflexes, it might have been snatched away by those from Heavenly Gates sect. Little boulder? Elder Shao felt that his entire person was in a bad mood. However, although he was stubborn, he abided by the rules of etiquette. Yun Chujio's identity was already set. Even if he was dissatisfied, he did not dare to have any objections and immediately fell silent. The corners of everyone's eyes twitched slightly. No matter how they looked at it, the name Little Boulder seemed strange when it was applied to Elder Shao's being. Since that's the case, you can keep that fragment of the Great Void Mirror. Master Xinyuan knew that Yun Chujio was not that kind-hearted. However, since the ancient dimension had been destroyed, the fragment of Void Mirror would not be of much use anymore. She can have it. Yun Chujio nodded her head in satisfaction. Then she said with a bright smile, "It's settled then. In the future, when there are outsiders, I will be a true disciple of Spirit Radiance sect. Now there aren't many elders like me who are thinking of the younger generation. Are you all very touched?" Everyone braced themselves and nodded their heads. No matter what, Yun Chujio's actions saved them a lot of embarrassment. Seeing this, Yun Chujio continued with a smile. "You guys are so sensible. I'm really happy. Children, I'm celebrating my birthday. Shouldn't you give me birthday gifts?" Everyone was stunned. Celebrating her birthday? Today was Yun Chujio's birthday.